different, something that's very time sensitive and exciting. The new deals or sales for GameDev. So we're going to cover all of the best game developer related deals that we found for Black Friday and the holiday season. Talk about the things that we're excited to be getting or have already got, or that people have submitted, or just any other really cool tech. There's a giant asset store sale going on, so we'll be covering a lot of assets. And then we're just going to cover lots of different hardware and things that we think people would be interested in as well, because those are the deals that are up. So welcome. Thanks everybody for coming out. Please hit the like button, say hello in chat, and then I guess I'll say hello to Jason, Andrew, and David. Oh, one more thing before I let anybody else talk. We're going to be giving away 2 different things today. We're going to give away a writer license. They give us licenses to give away. It's my favorite code editor and Jason's, and I'm not sure. Dave, is that your favorite editor too? Or are you still using something else?
Visual Studio.
Okay, so mine and Jason's favorite code editor at least. And we'll be giving away a license for that. So if you're interested in that, I'll put the link into chat and down in the description in just a moment. You'll be able to enter and go ahead and try to win. And then we'll also be giving away a free entry to this game developer course, The Art of Writing. Let me just drop it in chat. The Art of Writing for Video Games. I'll show a little bit about that later on, but I'll drop a link in chat there too. So we're going to give that away later on this week, but I'm going to talk about how you can enter to win that later on in the show. So welcome everybody. Thanks for coming out. Again, thanks for hitting like and all that, and thanks for being here, guys. I'm going to shut up and let you guys say something.
Hi, everyone.
Oh,
happy to be here.
All right. So I don't know. Have you guys been doing a lot of Black Friday shopping already yourselves? Most people I talked to have been like buying assets like crazy and occasional random tech deals. But how have you guys been doing on that?
I've bought a fair number of assets, and I have my Amazon cart ready to go just to see what goes on Black Friday sale, because they are not officially on Black Friday yet. And I'm keeping my eyes peeled for my nephews and nieces.
Okay, so you just add the stuff to your cart and then wait to see if you get a price change notification that it went on sale?
Yeah, because my nephew wants those amiibos from Nintendo, and they're freaking expensive. And I don't think they're going to go on sale because they're so expensive and all the kids want them. So I've got like 8 in my cart from Zelda, and just hoping that some of them go on sale.
Okay.
It may not be as satisfying, but here's a little pro tip. One of the main reasons you get amiibos is because you can use them in game to unlock cool crap. Precisely like in Zelda, you get like a bike and a dog and other stuff.
Only
if you want
reason
to, well, if that's the case, here's my hot tip. You can find people who will just give you all of the NFC tags. You can just pay like $12 and get a box of all of the NFT tags, and
they're on Amazon. But he probably won't like that because he's like 12. So I'm guessing that if it's just that, then he'll have 32 or whatever NFC cards. And then it won't be fun because it's no longer collecting. It's no longer like, now he's got everything. And then it's like at the end
you still
of the
have to use
game
them every day, and
it's
there's limited hours of use, so there's still benefit to it. But I was just lazy. I was like, I have like 1 or 2 amiibos. I have like a Bowser and Ganon and a few others. But I was like, I'm not collecting these. Nintendo have artificially made these scarce when they really don't have to. I'm just going to get all of the tags. I could have printed them out myself, but I think whatever it was, like $10 on Etsy or something, someone just had. They'll do all the work for you. They cut it out, they print it, they put the sticker, they have the right tags on it. It's like, yep, there you go, job done.
And I looked up on YouTube which ones were good because I have no idea, right? And those ones are twice as expensive as everything else. So the good ones they're $80, and I'm not going to pay $80 for that.
$80 for the little NFT tag to unlock the digital characters?
It's like the worst kind of in-app purchase.
Yeah.
I mean, over there, I've got a giant Mario who's like taller, like half my size, and it cost me like $30 relative. So those little figurines are ridiculous. He does not unlock digital stuff, unfortunately. No. But hey, if I stick one of those NFTs to his ass, he will, and then everything's golden.
Then his value is going to skyrocket. So, speaking of Nintendo, I did see that they're actually having, one of the things worth mentioning is they're having a sale today. They were doing their Switch sale. So Nintendo Switch with Mario Kart was on sale as like a combo available today. And I'm not sure how it's going to turn out this year, but I wouldn't be surprised if getting it, just being able to buy it, is a good thing this year if they run out of stock. I wouldn't be surprised if they run out of stock, and people are like scalping them pretty soon, because that's how it was last year. And it seems like it's going to happen. PlayStations aren't going to be in stock anywhere. Xboxes will probably be out of stock, and then Switches will. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they went out of stock. So when I saw that they were on sale, I was kind of surprised. Seems like it's a good opportunity to grab one up.
Wasn't the Steam Deck meant to be out next month, or is that all delayed?
Oh, that's delayed. That is very much delayed.
Oh, okay. Oh, February 2022. Okay.
Yeah. So you guys want to start just diving in with a couple of different deals and bundles, assets, and other things? I think maybe we could kick it off with one of the most exciting ones of Andrew's that I had at the top of my list, and then go from there. Dive into a couple different things. So I'm going to screen share just to make it easy for everybody who's actually watching the screen live, but we'll talk about and just describe the stuff as well. So I'm going to pull up number one. This thing is 80% off, or about to be 80% off, right, Andrew?
Yeah, I think it's 80% off for a while. It's got a whole bunch left.
It's already 80% off. I thought it hadn't kicked on yet. I didn't realize it's already live and available now. So 148 of them left. Go ahead. Why don't you tell everybody what this is?
It's 4 monsters. All these monster bundles are 4 monsters. So there's 4 characters in it, and the bundle's already discounted like 30% or something. So it's a discount on a discount. That means, I don't know, do the math. 28 divided by 4, whatever that price is how much per character. Each character, most of them come with sound effects, and they're fully animated, of course, music and concept art and all this other random stuff. So it's a lot of content for such a cheap price, and I need to redo that video, but that demo video, but that's okay.
The intro one,
the old demo videos that used to be just on this empty world, and now I put them in a forest world, so they're a little bit prettier. I mean, it's the same content, but they look great in all sorts of scenes, and you can use other assets to make them look stylized, and we've got some tutorials on that and whatnot. So there's so much you could do with them. And of course, they're the best assets on the store when it comes to fantasy monsters and monsters in general. So, yeah. And there's four packs on sale right now.
Just make me want to make like a fantasy RPG. It's like, especially when they start seeing you slide all the sliders for the fucking blend shapes.
Yeah, they all have the blend shapes.
The eye sliders are very satisfying.
Yeah,
you have it like pulsing and stuff. Yeah.
Yep, and there's even the animations use blend shapes as well. So during the animations, the eyes will pulsate and other things. So.
Yeah, and for anybody who's just listening and not watching, we're looking at a floating eyeball with tentacles coming off of it, with the eye changing and deforming into all different shapes and stuff as he just plays with these sliders and adjusts it. And it's the kind of thing you can do at design time, or even, as you can see right here, at runtime, and adjust these characters. So you got that for all of it. And this was a pack with 4, right? So 4 characters, Bomber Bug, the Flying Eye, the Cube, which I've got
cube and sphere.
A video of the cube real quick, and the slime.
Yeah.
Oh, and the sphere. Okay, let's see this cube. I remember seeing this one. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a big piece of candy.
That guy is hilarious. Cool. Well, yeah, that seems like definitely a good one, and I think a couple of them have already gone since we started talking about it. Should we jump on to the next deal? Who wants to share the next deal? Anybody want to pick one?
I will nominate Unistorm. It's a lightning deal right now. Unistorm, volumetric clouds, and I'll tell you why. First, it's 70% off, so it's $18, which is a screaming deal. Second, it was the very first weather system that I fell in love with on the asset store, and it's still being managed and updated and all that. Therefore, it's the one that's nearest and dearest to my heart. The publisher is very nice too. I've talked to him multiple times throughout my time using Unity. But it's one of the things that when I first started using Unity in the asset store, I looked at this and I saw their demo and I was like, holy shit, that's what I want. I need this. And I bought it years and years ago and never used it until fairly recently. And even now I've just used it for demos. But I want to use it, and I'm going to use it, guaranteed.
Wow, this looks really cool. Just doing like a full-on storm. The storm just getting bigger and bigger. So you're gonna put this into your RPG?
Yeah. So there's time of day. There's a night, moon cycle based on science, I suppose. And a whole weather system. And so my goal is to make it, I might modify it slightly, because I noticed that the nighttime is a little too bright for me. But I think you can modify with just some curves the amount of ambient light and whatnot. It's just there's a lot of options. So it's one of those assets that there's so much going on that you really do kind of have to, pay attention. It's drag and drop to a point, because then at that point you have to make it your own. But I love the idea that the weather and the time of day plays into the game itself. So NPCs go home at night, and during the if someone's outside selling stuff on the side of the road and it starts storming, they're not going to be there during a snowstorm. They're going to go home, or go somewhere else, go to the tavern or something, or that your lightning spells are more powerful during a storm, and whatnot. So yeah,
I
love
think
to
it
make use of
seems
that.
really cool. I having storms in there. I don't know. You keep making me want to make an RPG. I hate to it's like,
It's your calling in life.
yeah, you make me want to make a fantasy RPG. All the art assets and all the stuff you constantly have. It's so inspiring. I feel like I'm gonna. If I had the time, I would have already started it. It's difficult. All right, I'm gonna jump in real quick with a tech item. So one of the things that I think has made the biggest difference for me doing game development is just having big screen space, lots of space, either multiple big monitors. For a long time, I used 3 just 30-inch monitors that I found on Craigslist. I got a good deal on all of them, and I loved having just a lot of screen space. But I recently, about maybe a year ago, changed over to a single ultra wide monitor, and I got to say, it's like the biggest thing that I love in the system. Like, if there was one thing I wouldn't want to change, it's the monitor. So I wanted to share one deal that's not the exact monitor that I've got, but it's pretty close, and it's the more of a gaming version of it. The Samsung 49-inch G9s. They're on sale. They're still expensive. Don't get me wrong. They're definitely not cheap, but it's a high end, super big consumer device for, I guess I consider it a business expense. And it's a 49-inch monitor for $999. This one is actually for gaming, so it's 240 hertz, and it's just freaking awesome. Having the big, giant, wide screen with no bezel makes it so that I actually use all of my screen space, instead of when I had multiple monitors where I would only use like one portion of it or some of it. So I really love this thing. I'm gonna drop I'll drop an affiliate link down in chat real quick in case anybody wants to check it out. That way Amazon will give me a couple dollars too, for even if you just go click on it. Anyway, are you guys using big monitors? What are your thoughts on that?
You see, I use a 34-inch wide, ultra wide, and then I have 2 landscape monitors either side of that for my coding.
Okay. They get
So
kind of
that's
that
what I
same
do.
effect, right? You get the big
Same effect, but I have the landscape for the code, and that's probably what I would do. Is if you've got a normal monitor and you want something cheap, but you want to up your game, just buy a cheaper widescreen and then just switch it into portrait, and then code on that, and that will make a difference to your life.
Yeah, and we're going to talk. There's one other monitor deal that I want to share later on too. That's way cheaper, but I wanted to get this one out of the way because I've had a lot of people ask me what my monitor is, and when I saw this thing pop up at that deal, it's still $400 off, and that's pretty close to the normal price. So yeah, it seemed like a good one.
I want one. I crave one. I talked about this with you, Jason, and I crave one of these now because I saw a video showing that they've got 2 HDMI ports and you can plug 2 different computers in there. So you can have your Mac and your PC on the exact same screen, and with software, you can have the same mouse and keyboard work on both of them just by moving your mouse to the other side of the screen. Suddenly the keyboard and everything input switch. And I saw that and I was like, holy shit. That is the ideal Mac/PC setup. And so now I want one. But I also am so used to the high res, the high DPI screens that I've got this other monitor over here that's not high DPI, and whenever I use it and try to read stuff on it, everything just looks blurry to me. So I'm
Right.
also waiting for technology to increase and probably be way too expensive. But again, high DPI, ultra wide, that's 49 inches. I don't know if that's ever going to come out in any time soon, but that's what I would really want if I had all the money in the world.
I've done the full rounds. I used to have a single 45-inch screen or whatever. I didn't like that. It was really stressful on the eyes up close. I then had 6 24 inches at one stage. I didn't like that. It was just too much screen real estate. It was kind of overwhelming, and I only ever used the center screen, really. Then I switched to one ultra wide, and I had a really nice one of the gaming ones. It was like the Z something. It was like a $2,000 ridiculous gaming one, and I used that for a long time, and I love it. My favorite style of monitor is a single ultra wide, but for content creation, I hate using it because all the resolutions capture weird. You have to custom modify everything you do with it. Sharing screen a lot gets tedious, and I ended up just saying the benefits for gaming don't outweigh the costs on the 90% of my time is actually spent coding and working and dealing with people. And so for me, it just didn't make sense. So I ended up switching to ultra wides, just not ultra wides, to just normal ultra sharp resolution monitors. And I went with the Dell ones. And the Dell ultra sharp, I have a 32-inch for my primary, and I have a 27-inch here in portrait mode for exactly what you said, code and documents and stuff up on that screen. So I now run with those two. I might get a third one at some stage, but I'm quite happy with this. I find 2 tends to suit me. One for most of my effort, and then some of the side contextual information. So,
if anybody's actually seen the video, I run 4 monitors because why not? One of them is actually one of them's a sketching monitor though that I actually pull out on a custom mount, and that actually goes over my keyboard, so I can actually do design work. But yeah, then it's the ultra wide and the 2 portraits. For that problem with sharing your screen, I actually have a layout in Power Tools, in Windows Power Tools, that just has a center bit that's 1080. And then I basically have OBS running, and then I can basically share that up, and then I pump that out.
yeah, I tried that. But the problem I kept having is I live by the shortcut. So I do like the Windows left, right, up, down, and I snap things to corners and whatever. And
Yeah.
when your corners are like out of range of the frame, stuff flies out of frame, and it's like, and it's just too much muscle memory for the way I use my monitor, unfortunately. And yeah, and also I don't like the fact that like I've tried a few different variations, and I also another thing completely separate, camera. Wherever you place your camera, it depends what angle you want. I'm a fan of having it low and straight on, and so from a screen perspective, an ultra wide is very big. Like it's by definition ultra wide, which makes it very hard to set up a camera angle that you like relative to it, unless you want to set it higher. And I don't like doing that, and so if I have an ultra wide, suddenly like my entire setup has to move the camera, and I don't like the way it looks. And these are all like tiny first world problems, but in short, I figured out this kind of works for me.
Yeah, that is a nightmare. I had to 3D print a custom mount and then build an arm off that with some camera arms to then place the DSLR on top of that I can then gimbal into place to view. But of course, you need a 3D printer and all that sort of thing. And also, I have all my monitors and everything come down on a vertical slide that goes up and down on the wall.
Yeah, I think you guys are crazy. I found the ultra wide to be way easier for all of those things and harder for gaming because I couldn't get the frame rate I needed anymore with the games. And with the ultra wide, it was nice and short, so I was able to just slap my camera on top instead of having it be way up above and looking down on the top of my head. So, but yeah, it's good. Yeah, I don't know. Monitors are awesome. Having lots of them or big ones. I had 3, 4. I had 4 for a little while, and then I realized I never turned the 4th one on. And then I had 3 and realized I never turned the 3rd one on. I never used the 3rd one. It was over there sitting against the thing. I was like, I never actually look at that. And, so I started
One thing I do like about the ones I chose, the Dell Ultra Sharps, is they're one of the only ones which can do a full 360 style rotation on the base that it comes with.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
So I can literally take the full, like the 32-inch, and I can turn that in portrait if I want to, and it's so nice. You don't need any external stands. Normally I used to take every monitor off the stand, put it in a VESA mount, put it on an arm, give myself all the freedom. But the problem I had with that is if you mount your monitors to your desk and your desk wobbles slightly, your monitors start to wobble. And like this, the microphone, you can probably see barely wobbling here whenever I shake my desk. That used to really annoy me. And so having the stands on the table, but then having them be able to do that rotation is very satisfying. They also do the whole tilt as well. So I can tilt it forward when I'm doing certain things and tilt it up when I do a standing desk thing or whatever. Yeah.
Those are the Dell 32s, right? Or I wonder if those are on sale. See if we can find a deal.
Yeah, I could be. The Ultra Sharps are great. Like the quality is amazing, and there's different qualities of them depending on the color reproduction you want. And I found that having I didn't go for the really expensive proper color reproduction, but it's very good for the kind of stuff I need. It's considerably better than normal monitors, and they're not cheap though. They're definitely not cheap.
So I wanted to jump into one more thing that's not an asset and not hardware, a little bit different, something that's software and might apply to kind of everybody watching here, and it's a Launchbox. So my buddy Matt told me about this one. It's going on sale. I don't think it's on sale yet, but it will be sometime soon, and it's apparently the best emulator server or software for just dealing with, if you want to play old arcade games and emulate stuff, it handles all of that. And from what I understand, they're going to have a 50% off sale. So I'm kind of excited to check that out. I've got a custom arcade system that I've got like halfway put together. So I want to grab this and pop it into there. And I thought that
I recommend it. I've been using it for years. I replaced I used to use Hyperspin and Kodi, and then I switched to Launchbox from Hyperspin at one stage, and it's considerably better. Hyperspin has tons of features, but it was really confusing to work with. And then this one was a lot more user friendly, and they've really it's got a big community of people creating stuff for it. It's also just the shiniest. It's of all of the custom launchers for your game libraries, it's my favorite.
Nice. So 2 good testimonials for it. So yeah, I'm going to be grabbing it whenever the sale goes ahead. I haven't figured out exactly when to see the sale, but I assume it's going to be right around Black Friday. So I wanted to share that one. I think everybody will probably like it. I guess if Jason likes it, everybody's going to like it. So, all right. Let's find another one. So I think it's time to jump over to another asset deal. Andrew, you got a good asset deal you want to share?
I'll give you 2 because I feel bad about only saying my own. So there's going to be 2: medieval town and village environment, which is my own, and the detailed medieval village, which is not my own, but is also very pretty and is also a medieval town that might make you want to make an RPG. So that's the other one that's not mine. Yeah. Now, I actually bought this one a while back, and I like it. The only thing that's very detailed, and I love the detail, and it makes me jealous. The only thing that I didn't like is the scale felt wrong to me. Everything felt like it was kind of too big or something, if that makes sense. Like the stones in the bridge felt like they were 2 feet tall when they should be flat because I'm trying to walk on them with my character.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
But aside from that, this, and there's a castle one as well now, and so it's very pretty and very detailed, and I appreciate that.
Actually, I want to go on a small rant here because you brought up a really good point. So this scale thing drives me absolutely insane. So many asset creators get this wrong, and especially when it starts to, if you're a VR content creator, the amount of times you download an asset and it's stupid. The scale is nonsense and it makes no sense, and trying to work with stuff is impossible. There is an asset on the store made by a friend of mine, God, years ago. I'm talking like way back in DK1 days. It's called Transform EX. It's by a guy called Dark Akuma. It's really cheap, but it literally lets you pick your it lets you scale things to like real world units, and it changes all of the stuff so it'll automatically snap correctly to right units. So if you can pull that up, Jason, I think anyone who's producing assets for people to consume or working on a game that's meant to be in VR, you need to have this or something like this.
What was the name again?
Transform EX.
EX?
Yeah, EX. It should be there. It should be the second one there, I think. The Yeah, that one, Dark Akuma. There you go.
All right, this one's cheap all the time.
Yeah, it's just a generally cheap asset. But what it does is it's a custom property drawer for the transform utility, which, as you can see, if you look at the top right there, gives you all of the units in any measurement, whether you want imperial or whatever, and you can choose to correctly size things based on real world units, right? So you're not getting in that weird scenario where you're sizing it wrong. I highly recommend it. It's a small thing, but like if you ever find yourself going, how big is a soda can in this scene? It's like, well, you can scale it and put it on a shelf and hope you're right, or you can just like Google the number, type it in exactly in the right thing, and it's correct.
That is cool. That makes a lot of sense. You just give it the actual size there. Huh.
I'm sure many people are like me, where I'm like, all right, characters are 2 meters tall, because that's a nice round number. That's how tall everyone is. Just don't put the camera that high, because your eyes are lower than that.
Guys aren't floating right above your head?
No, they're not. Right above your actually quite tall head.
All right, pull up this other environment pack. And this
There we
is the
go.
other village, right?
Yeah, that one's mine. So I have a soft spot in my heart for it. And in my wallet because it was expensive to produce. But it's huge. Got lots of stuff in it. It's exteriors, interiors, props, tons of props. This great demo scene that makes use of other assets as well, like the Ram River and the forest environment. It's got new facades. We've been updating with facades to make more dense villages. So like imagine a town that doesn't have space between the buildings and has more vertical levels. It's got a lot in it, and it's very big, and it's always being expanded. It's always going to be expanded because once I get in my game to the point where I make levels, this is of course what I'll be using for villages and whatnot. And so, and yes, William, in the comments, interiors and props. Some of the buildings have interiors all ready to be used, where the rooms are all put out there. All the facades do not, because their goal is to let you design your own interiors that don't always match, perhaps, the size of the exterior. So you can kind of fudge that around, because sometimes you want a bigger interior than the exterior would allow. So you can create your own as well.
It'd go really well with some monsters.
Yeah. We go really well with some monsters and some characters, some humans and goblins, and maybe weapons and sound effects and music and stuff like that.
You're gonna make me build a fucking RPG.
Yeah. If only you knew how to code.
I know you're playing it.
It's a very long play I've got going on here.
It's working. And more and more. Yeah, okay. I don't think I'll be able to hold off too much longer. So, do you guys want to dive into another tech item thing or some more assets?
Well, I dropped an asset in the chat there.
Oh, you did. Let's check that one out.
So this is the only one I've bought for Black Friday so far, because it's been on my list for quite a while. It's by they're a company that's quite new to the asset store, but Kitbash 3D. I actually bought a few before they joined the asset store, because one of the art directors on one of my companies is a massive fan of theirs, and he's a concept artist. And I've been wanting to basically up my zombie scenes a little bit, because I've got a few zombie scenes in some subways, and I wanted to bring them outside. And the future slums is just a beautiful dystopian bit of kit.
This is definitely cool.
But no videos though. They're killing themselves. They need a nice video for their
I know. If you go on their site, on the actual Kitbash site, they've got lots of videos and they've got lots of new assets, and they tend to go on their site before they come onto on the Unity Asset Store. They're actually they're producing a lot of videos now on their YouTube channel that actually has them talking to various concept artists. Because a lot of this stuff actually appears in films and different games. But yeah, if you look at a lot of concept art, you might notice some of the assets from this company in the background, because they've been very big in the AAA industry.
I had purchased some of their stuff before they were on the asset store as well, one package, because it looks so amazing. I had a negative experience though, where I realized that it's great for concept art, which is what you're basically seeing here, and it's great for background stuff,
It's
but
expensive.
it's expensive and doors don't
The
open.
polycount.
Doors don't have handles. And when you
Yeah.
get up to the door, you realize, oh, the stuff next to the door has no back, so you
Yeah.
can't actually use it in a first person or third person game. They're
That's
great for
right.
backgrounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I use
They're-
it in that. I've got their spaceship pack, which is some of the spaceships that feature in my turret game on the channel and everything. And yeah, I agree. The stuff I put them in there for is all background, just really gorgeous background. So a lot of times I'll record that out into planes, and so I don't, because they're quite high poly count as well. A lot of this stuff. So I basically put them out into planes and then parallax them, etc. But yeah, I agree. It's not close up work, though. I don't know if they're going to change that, because they've been doing a lot more game assets, and they've actually hired some game developers into their team, if I remember correctly. So might see some more of that stuff, especially with the fact that everybody's moving to real-time engines for filmography, and you look at the Mandalorian, etc. So I know they've been bringing some people into there for the real-time rendering.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, that they've got, especially for the fantasy stuff. I mean, part of the reason why I never made a medieval village until more recently was because I was hoping somebody else would, because I didn't necessarily want to do that myself, because I knew it's a big project and all that. And things like Manufacturer K4 had these great stuff that I was always hoping would be updated and all this other stuff. And Kitbash was something you just look at the picture and you're like, holy shit, I want that in my game. I was just so disappointed when I realized you couldn't actually use it the way I wanted to use it. But
Yeah,
if they were to make, if they would make first person, third person usable content, that would be pretty big.
Yeah, it would be fantastic.
Well, I guess we'll jump over to another tech item, because I got a couple more of those that I wanted to share. The next one on my list, well, kind of down my list, is actually the 4K Fire Sticks. I've actually got two of them right over there that I need to install, that I already ordered, because I love these things. I don't know what you guys watch TV on, but throughout my house, everything is just on a Fire Stick now. I've tried pretty much every option that I could find, and nothing came close, just for usability and being able to watch everything and do stuff, and then have it also just pop up and let me know when Amazon shows up. Kind of nice too. But I love these things, the Fire Sticks and Fire Cubes, and now they have their new Max one. They have the regular versions are on sale, I think, for $25, and then the Max ones that do Wi-Fi 6, and I think they had one other little feature, were available for $35. And I think they're, if you're watching TV at home, it's my favorite way to do it. So I'm gonna just drop that link down there in chat too. I'm gonna go check it out. But do you guys use Fire Sticks, or do you use something else? I'm a little bit curious what everybody else uses.
Chromecast Ultras.
I've tried those. I didn't like them.
Yeah, I have those myself. Although I don't really use them. I pretty much sit at my desk and do all of my watching and consuming at my desk. The only times I don't is I have in my room a projector, and it's this really cool little mini projector here. It's called the Anchor Capsule, and effectively it looks like a little can, and you pop it on the table, and it's a short throw. It projects a nice large screen. It's Android based, and I can do everything you could do with something like the Fire Stick on that, and it works great.
I have one. They're awesome.
Yeah,
they are awesome.
So in my experience, and let me know if you guys have a different opinion on this. For me, the Chromecasts always felt like, even with the new ones that had the remote, it felt like a device where I pretty much needed my phone, and I needed my phone or some other thing to send stuff. And the Chromecast was kind of a dummy device. The one with the little white remote that I hate, that remote is the worst thing ever. But the one with that remote was a little bit better, because it had a couple apps that could do things. But with the Fire Stick, like, I just talk to it and tell it whatever I want, and every app is on here and everything just kind of works. With the cubes, I don't like, this one's actually technically a cube. So if I start talking to who, she can hear me back there and adjust the screen back there, switch the inputs. change the picture on there or whatever. So yeah, that was, I guess, my big difference. Do you guys actually use the Chromecasts to like watch
Yeah.
YouTube
The real
videos,
benefit
watch
for the
Netflix
Chromecast though
and
was
Amazon and stuff? Or?
we used to have friends over, and we just basically sit around talking, and it'd be like someone wanted to put on funny YouTube videos, and everyone can just cue them up from their phones. It's extremely satisfying having a room full of people all just sitting talking, and then like intermittently throwing up funny, Family Guy compilations and stuff, and everyone just chooses their own content, and we're all just sitting there talking, and nobody has to be like the media person, right? It's just anybody who wants to ping something or put a music video up on the monitor can do that.
That's
So that
a
was very
very different
satisfying.
use case than I have. I just realizing that 'cause I'm comparing that to like I've got a 3-year-old who needs to turn on Dora the Explorer, and I want her to just be able to say, you know who, play Dora the Explorer, and have it work.
My one complaint with
Very
Google
different.
stuff,
I don't want them near a phone. So okay, that makes sense.
my one complaint with Google stuff, which has been an endless kind of infuriation for me, there's the Chromecast audio, and audio is a big thing for me, surprisingly, with all of my tons of headphones and various stuff. And the one feature I just assumed would be possible would be the ability to treat it as stereo between multiple Chromecast audios, to set 2 up and use them as stereo. You can't do that. You can send your audio to all of the audios, which, like, if you had, that's pretty cool, being able to have multi-room audio. Like, you can just play sound and have it appear everywhere. But I remember, I can't remember the exact use case I was trying to do, but I was trying to effectively set up multiple different speakers and stereo stuff and do it a certain way, and it's limited in what you can synchronize between multiple ones. It's very annoying.
Yeah, they now have the speakers that you can add to stereo, but then who wants their speakers?
Right, exactly. Like I've got these really nice audio engine speakers. Why the hell would I use some grubby Google one?
Yeah, I use Wharfdales, and I'm not going to switch to those ones. Though I do have one of the speakers up in the bedroom, just as a place.
They're not bad. To be fair, they're not bad. Like, I do have
they're pretty good.
The home ones are pretty good, but like if you are in the market, if you actually like audio stuff for cost benefit, buying it, you can of course get something better. You really can.
Yeah. Now, when I sit in front of the TV, I actually just use the smart TV. So I've got an LG C1 OLED 4K, so one of the really nice OLEDs in the living room. And that is what I use. And that has one of those magic remotes that you can actually use as a pointer. So you just go like this and the whole pointer moves up and down. So we don't use a Chromecast Ultra on that. I use Chromecast Ultras on all the other TVs, the ancillary ones. So one up in the gym and then one here in the office. So those are the ones I use it on.
Okay. Interesting.
I always used an Apple TV.
I am not surprised at all.
I have an Apple TV as well, because my wife is an Apple user. So we have an Apple TV in the living room as well. Because, though she does start to use Chromecast, like the casting from the Chrome on her iPhone as well. So
I have to say, I personally hate all the built-in TV provided ones. Those always annoy the heck
I think
out of me.
smart TV has ruined televisions.
Yeah, just give me a TV. You're supposed to show stuff. That's it. Just show. Let me choose what you show.
I used to agree until I got that LG, because all the other ones, I basically overrid them all with special remotes and all the rest, and had Chromecast or whatever built into the back, or Apple TVs, or I used to have a PC that would run a dual screen on it. But this LG one's really tidy. Like, it's a really good. I think it's an Android TV actually.
My problem is just that all of these things bloody advertise to you. It's like, I bought an expensive device. I connected it to my internet. I want to watch the things I want to watch. Stop trying to get me to watch Hulu. I don't care. Go away. And it's like, why is the home screen like forcibly advertisements? Why can't I just set it up to my own stuff? Which is why I always revert back to using Kodi, previously XBMC, and my own stuff, because I just don't have the patience to deal with, here's some wacky new comedy that you might want to. No, I don't. Go away. And some of them, you can't even get rid of it. There's no option to say close. You just have to leave these damn ads on the screen. Yeah, I hate it. I hate the whole thing.
Yeah, the LG one has a side panel, really, but I still find it obnoxious that you've paid several grand for a TV, and now you've got an ad in the corner while you're selecting whether you want to watch Netflix or Hulu or whatever, and then obviously it's not on when you're actually watching your content. But I override all the home screen on it because I'm not having any of that.
Yeah, that's why I don't have any smart device. Even like, it was already annoying with the Nebula By the way, you should probably link that, Jason, because bring up that capsule a link I sent in the chat. People are curious about it. Even that one, I spent ages hiding every single one of their provider things they had, trying to get it to not be obnoxious. And literally all I use it for is I use it as a VNC client, or with VLC, I use it to stream from my network storage under the thing. I do not use any of their provider smart Android TV nonsense. Just it's rubbish.
And it hasn't got all of it either. It's like a weird Android spin-off. I actually plug a Chromecast into this for some things.
See, that's fair, yeah.
Because it's super annoying. But it's just a really good little projector. I use this for when I go to shows and stuff, when I'm doing presentations or little shows or demonstrations or for like effects. Sometimes I'll run it up with a clear transparent panel to do some ghost that stands in the middle of the room or something like that. But yeah, it's just super portable. It's really good like that.
Yeah, like you could literally bring this and like a Raspberry Pi, a couple of controllers, and like a hard drive and some other stuff in a bag that would be like a small bag, and you'd be able to set yourself up a media center projector with like millions of games and controllers in a few minutes at anywhere you want. And yeah, it's very satisfying.
In a hotel room, so you don't have to try and unscrew the thing they've got in the back of their TV to put in an HDMI. Not that I would ever do that, obviously.
Yeah, of course. And the other thing too, the one problem I had with it though was, of course, plugging in headphones and stuff, which brings me to my other recommendation, which is on the document. The BTR5. I think this is a piece of kit every tech person should own. I think it's one of the coolest things I've ever bought. So it's I have the document still up. Where is it? It's the FIO BTR5. I didn't put a link. I just put a thing. Yeah, that one exactly. Just do a quick Google for that. It is.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now, and we'll share it.
Do I actually have it here, or is it up in the room? I have 3 of them because I like them so much.
You got 3 of them?
I have 3 of them. Yeah, they're so good. I'll explain in a second why they're so good, but okay. So there's BTR 2, 3s, whatever. So 5 is the newest one. So what this is it's an amp and a DAC and a Bluetooth receiver, all in one. And you can either plug it into your computer and get better and louder audio, or you can do what I use it for, which is bypass the things don't have headphone sockets anymore problem. This will Bluetooth connect to anything. It has really good quality. It will the whole range of the house. Basically, I can connect this to my phone and another device, like 2 or 3 devices at once. I can then plug in any of my expensive headphones into it, and I can walk around my house like they're Bluetooth headphones. And normally, the problem with treating normal stuff like this is that Bluetooth devices and amplifiers don't provide enough power. This thing drives like 300 ohm headphones. And for people who know what that means, that's a big deal. For people who don't, let's just say most headphones will sound good through this. It's phenomenal. It's one of my battery lasts ages too. So I just plug this in and connect it to, say, like that, the projector, pop it in my pocket, and I now have any headphones I want listening on that, and the latency is like pretty much non-existent. So I use this for pretty much everything. I used to buy Bluetooth headphones, and aside from a couple, I still have my ones like these. I still have my Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless and a few others that I use for going for a walk or whatever. But in general, if I want to like walk around the house and listen to music, these plus a good pair of headphones will beat any Bluetooth headphones you get. And this is from someone who even has these, and they're good. They're very good, the Sony's. But compare that to any headphone you want, swap out whenever you want, connect to any device you want, multiple devices, and that thing is like, I forgot what it was, but it's like $70 or $90. It basically removes the question of, do I need a Bluetooth? Do I need a headphone jack in my phone, or do I need Bluetooth for this? Charge one of these up beside your desk, and you can connect to both your phone and your computer, have always on, walk around your house, and works flawlessly.
That's cool. I like that. I also really like those Sony ones too. I have my pair right there, and I don't tell my mom, but I'm going to get her a pair for Christmas because they're just freaking awesome, and she even liked them when she tried them out. And I was looking for deals on those. I haven't seen any pop up, but I expect to see them pop up sometime soon too. So those are the Sony M4s. Those are the ones that you had, right? The M4s are?
Yeah, they were the M4s, yeah.
Yeah. They're great
They're
Bluetooth
good.
headphones, especially if you have a giant, oversized head like I do. They're just comfortable and they sound good and work really well.
Well, my recommendation is and always will be the ones I'm wearing. And this is, I can't stress this enough. I have behind me literally thousands of dollars worth of much more expensive headphones than the ones on my head. But these are the ones I recommend people actually get. And they're on my list. The Sennheiser HD6XXs. They're directly underneath the VO, by the way. That one is, I think, best bang for your buck. If you're not into high quality audio stuff and you don't want to care about collecting complicated equipment and getting all the right stuff, if you buy both of these two things, the BTR5 and the 6XXs, you will have better quality than you ever really need for anything. It'll work on everything you possibly want and you'll be set. I honestly think if I could only have 2 bits of audio equipment, it would be those two. And that's like $300 all in or something, like about the cost of a normal thing. It's very satisfying.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I always feel like I've got to try them on and feel them. Like I feel like it's a lot like keyboards. It's one of those things where it's very personal and like some people love Beats. I've tried them on and I hate those things. Like they feel like super uncomfortable, tight, and sound bad in my ears, right? But other people swear they're the best and they hate my headphones. So I feel like it's one of the few things that you've actually got to kind of like try on at a store and see which ones you love. At least for me. I don't know about you guys, but I also have a giant head, so. Who knows?
If you're going to use your headphones like 8 hours a day, yeah. Like I wear these during the workday practically 5 hours minimum at least. And if they're not comfortable, your ears start hurting very fast.
Yeah, that's my experience. You got to be comfortable and not have your head hurt and not want to take them off. So I want to jump over. Go ahead.
Just for if that's a concern in general, I would say that there's as you can imagine, I literally have like 40 pairs. I have 40 pairs of headphones, so I have a wide understanding of the audience of the various different companies and what they provide. And I'll say that the Sennheisers in general are relative. One of the biggest strengths is they're really light. Unlike a lot of other headphones, they're very, very light. These aren't the lightest ones, but there's like the 598s are a bit lighter than these. But they're very satisfying for that reason alone. A lot of other headphones feel very chunky and weighty. These ones have a good clamp, which some people don't like, but it's like they clamp well enough that they're comfortable. But they're also really light to wear, as in you'll never get fatigued. I've got over there like really big, heavy headphones that are fantastic. But if you use them for more than 40 minutes, you want to take them off because you feel like you've been like strapping a big giant box on your head the whole time. So I would say more than any other headphone, they for price to performance, I would be amazed if someone was to try any of the 600s, 6XXs, or 598s, or anywhere in that Sennheiser range and have a problem with it. I think most people who get those headphones, they become one of their main part of their thing. And for the price, like I cannot stress enough when I say for $200 or something, they compete in audio quality with like $1,000 headphones. They do. They're just equal. In no other headphone has that price to performance ratio, in my opinion.
And there was a mention of AirPods too in the chat, and it just reminded me that like those also like those hurt my ears for some reason, but the old Apple ones were actually totally fine, and I liked those. The old wired ones, but the wireless ones I couldn't take. So
I couldn't use them either. I tried multiple AirPods, and the only one which worked for me was the latest AirPod Pro ones with the rubber tips. The original ones genuinely cut, like they actually cut the inside of my ear at one stage. There's something about the sharp plastic. It just my ear shape is weird, I guess.
everybody got these weird shapes, right? So I wanted to jump onto an asset one for all the Unity devs, and this was one that Ian shared in the game architecture course Q&A. This was the Mesh Baker, and this was an asset for just baking down meshes or combining them and improving performance a lot. And I forget, did you say you had used this one before, Jason? I can't remember.
I don't think so. There's another guy on most of the projects I work on which deals with the mesh side of things, so probably not me.
Okay, it looked really interesting, and the way you described it sounded pretty intriguing. So I was gonna check this one out and probably grab it. And then Andrew, it looks like you had some stuff to share as well, right?
Oh, I was just showing the Bose Quiet Comfort headphones are half off on Amazon right now. They're the old version, I think. I think there's a newer version, but I had those for years and I accidentally left them on a park bench. and somebody took them. Who knew? And so I had to replace them with these, and I like those better than these. These are the Sony ones. But anyway, so those are quality, popular. They're not necessarily as good as some of the super fancy ones, but half off. That's it. I
Yeah,
wanted to share that.
they're
Yeah.
behind the Sonys. They are the best noise canceling of almost any headphones. The only problem I had with them is the whatever the it's made out of. It's like the faux leathery stuff they're using. It's like it's literally squeaky. Like it has a squeaky sort of uncomfortable for me for the padding. It's not uncomfortable to wear. It's just if they're moving on your head, there's that like feeling of a rubber kind of squeakiness to it that you don't have from some of the other ones with kind of softer cover. I mean, again, I'm not the target audience because I have like lambskin and velour ear cups for my headphones here, so maybe I'm a bit too pernickety with that stuff. But yeah, I just found those ones a bit uncomfortable just for that one bit. But once you're wearing them, they're fine. Just don't like move them around too much.
My only gripe was that when I would go walking, and even talking, this one is creaking in my right ear, just moving my jaw. But when I would be walking in those, I would hear every footstep, something in the plastic would click, and it was just, I'm sure it was a very low sound, but since it's on your ears, you can hear it. And so that was my biggest thing, is that something was clicking and I couldn't figure out what. I would always have to like maneuver on my head to try and minimize the clicking. I guess I've gotten used to it, because now that I'm talking about it, I realize this one clicks when I just talk and I don't even know what it's saying anymore. So.
I remember listening to those and thinking, I think that when I tried them out, they sounded the best. They were just a little bit too tight and gave me a headache.
They are very tight compared to other ones.
I remember them sounding better than my Sony ones.
They are like right up there as one of the tighter headphones compared to other ones. Yeah, they do have a good clamp on them. Too much for me, even, I'd say.
Definitely a deal, though. Half off. So here's this one you shared, right, Dave?
Yeah, so I do a lot of stuff that hooks up to the PC.
I could
so there's an Arduino sale going on at the moment. And if you've done any sort of hardware or you're interested in getting into hardware, Arduinos are awesome. I use them for the backlighting on my PC. I use them for motion simulators. I wire them to guns that I use in virtual reality. I've even got stuff on the channel that shows you how to quickly get things running via Unity onto the Arduino as well. So they're awesome source. I own tons of them. And there's some new ones out there. So there's not relatively new. There's the Nano IoT 33, which is an IoT one. So if you want to do any IoT-based items, then you can basically buy one of those and hook those up. I actually have an Arduino Nano IoT that runs all the up and down because I have a custom power controller for lifting and lowering my desk setup that's attached to the wall. That's all run via an Arduino as well. And then, as I say, Arduino on the backlighting for my custom PC. They're awesome. And hook them up to your PC, run not Windows, build up Visual Studio and put out some code to hook them up and all the rest, and make your own little applications that can control them. It's great fun. And they're always on sale. And on Amazon, there's always packs, but you don't always get the latest board with the Amazon packs. But you can buy a pack with servos, and every single time there's a Black Friday deal, there's tons of deals on buying box collectives. And if you've got kids of a certain age, they're great to teach them how to build stuff as well.
Yeah, I've had my kids play with them a little bit, and the Netduinos too. The C# one. I don't know if you play with those. I have one of those.
I have one.
Yeah, not nearly as useful, I think, but I thought it was kind of fun to play with it in C#.
Yeah, the Netduino, I loved the Netduino because of the C-sharpness of it. That means you could get really quickly going on it. But the libraries were very limited. So apart from I built Pong from scratch and a few others with a screen and actually did the dot matrix on the screen and everything. But the Arduinos have all the libraries and a bigger user base. So you have to learn how to program on them, but it's really super simple. And anyone that can program in Unity will be able to get going on the Arduino pretty quick.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I remember at Qualcomm, they actually had a lab set up where you could bring in your kids, and they would do Arduino classes for the middle schoolers and elementary school kids and stuff. And they'd actually bring in local middle schoolers from around and have them come in with their classes to learn how to write a little bit of code and control some robots and stuff. They would all make these little projects. It was really cool. Neat stuff. I got to take my kids up there a couple times because if you worked there, you could just bring them in like on certain days. Let's go in there and build stuff and code. Yeah,
they're amazing. If you want to get your kids into building it, they're awesome. And then you can work up to, as I say, there's things on my channel that just you can do absolute crazy stuff with them.
So there was another deal popping up that's I think you guys will all be interested in. I know you guys already have Quests. But the Oculus Quest 2, we got this one. Let me see. I almost probably. I think it was Johnny. Yeah.
Fun fact: I still don't have the 2. I still work on a dev kit, like an original, the various sets of Santa Cruzes and stuff. So I might actually have to get an official Quest 2.
Yeah, we have to check this out. Johnny, the Turbo Makes Games. You guys probably seen his channel. He's been on here at least once before. Yeah, hop on again sometime. But he sent this over to me, and it's they get a $50 digital credit if you grab a Quest 2 now, which seems like a good deal. I've got one that I wanted to do a lot of stuff with, but I struggled to find the time to really build stuff around. Are you using the Quest 2, David?
Oh, yeah. There it is.
Is that what you pulled down was a 2? Okay.
So this is the 2. Yeah, I got the 1 there. I've got the Index over there somewhere. I've got every dev kit that's ever been done by Oculus. I have the HTC. I have 3 original Oculus CV1s. Yeah. So, but I'm doing this. So I done a VR Jam recently, and they wanted it on the Quest. So I put out stuff, and it's so easy to develop on these now. Like, gone are the days of the absolute nightmare of putting stuff through ADB and installing it onto your headset. Now you can just really bundle it over or run directly.
With the one exception that if you haven't linked your Facebook account and they automatically remove your dev status and then screw you for a week, I've had on projects. Yeah.
So they've said that they're going to be doing something about the Facebook accounts with the Oculus because of the amount of problems they've had. And I've done Oculus for Business as well. Because I used to build VR training stuff. Well, I still do build VR training for companies every now and again. They want to teach people how to do fire extinguishers or how to do manufacturing. Then I build a VR training section for them or help them build their company. And yeah, we build on that. And that Oculus for Business with Facebook accounts was an absolute nightmare. So they're changing all of that out.
In my case, it was I installed an APK. I tried to run it. It told me I couldn't because I had to update the firmware because I was using a dev kit. I updated the firmware. I did it. It now said, "Oh, you're not a dev anymore." Like, okay, can I become a dev again? And it's like, "Oh, you can't do it." So when I tried to on the app, it didn't work. I then tried to plug it into the phone. It wouldn't find the device. I went through this whole rigmarole of back and forth, only to then find out that supposedly I had to connect my Facebook account, even though nowhere did it say this anywhere. And so, 1, I didn't want to do that, but then 2, I had to because it was for a client project. So then I eventually did connect it. And even then, under the development tools option, it knew I was a developer because it showed me the developer tools submenu, but it wouldn't let me turn on the unknown sources. So all of a sudden, I couldn't run any development app on my headset when I could before their update. So yeah, I'm a little less less happy with them than other people these days.
That whole Facebook acquisition and then the whole developers, that was a grind to get through. It's a lot better now, but there's still some real, once you get really into the business side of it, it's a real niggle, and it annoys the hell out of me, but that's what all the clients are buying, unfortunately, until something else comes out.
It's that at the moment, and we currently have Pico 2 projects, or Pico Neo 3 now, I think, but they're the 2 that I'm finding people are asking for stuff for.
I stopped using my Quest because of Facebook, because I don't use Facebook. And I won't use Facebook, so I stopped using the Quest, unfortunately.
Well, hopefully soon you can get back onto it. If they do what they promised and they remove the Facebook login for it, then hopefully.
Or I'll just wait for Apple to come out with theirs.
Yeah, but they're not going to ask for an account at all, of course. You're not going to need an account.
Definitely going to have an Apple account for that. Yeah.
You already got one of those, so
Yeah.
He just doesn't want to have a second account. He's already got an account somewhere.
I do.
He's got
It's-
And they
he's
can
got a
make 2
chip.
accounts.
He's been chipped by Apple.
Well, I've got my iPhone, so I'm
Yes.
sure whatever they come out with will require the iPhone. So
Yeah, and I'm sure that when
Yeah.
you log in, you'll be set with a beautiful garden with big walls either side, and that's where you'll be starting.
oh, it's gonna be so nice,
screen.
so
Yeah.
nice. I won't have to worry about anything.
Now, there is one Apple product that I really like that I should mention, which is those tiles. I don't know if you use those things, but I got those Apple the little AirTags.
AirTags.
They are very cool. Yeah.
Right? AirTags. Those things are pretty freaking awesome. They're super handy, lightweight, and they just work way better than all the other options that I've tried out in the past. Where they were just kind of a pain in the ass.
I used to use Actually Tile, that company, and they were absolute ass because they're entirely dependent on how many people nearby have them to kind of build their network. And when you're in Ireland, and unless there's cows wearing them, there's nobody near me to start building that network. Now, Apple stuff is a bit more prominent, but still, it's kind of frustrating how stuff like this just doesn't have the same impact over here. It reminds me of when Pokemon Go was a big deal. I tried to get into that, but I couldn't because there was like 4 spots in like kilometers of me. It's like, this isn't the same as taking a walk in New York and just like hitting a whole pile of stuff. It's like, it made the whole experience not worth doing.
Yeah, I got the Scotland gym and the Ireland
I've
gym.
never needed them. I've never needed the tiles or anything like that. Just get rid of your keys.
I lost my mail key too many times. My mail key and my wallet.
Oh.
So now I've got a wallet that fits an AirTag in it and a mail key with an AirTag in it. I put one on the dog because they were a 4-pack. And now I've got to find one more thing to lose. As soon as I lose that, I'm going to find a new one and put an AirTag on it.
Funnily enough, keys were never a thing for me. I'm one of those people who's a firm believer that if a thing has a place, you'll never lose it. So my keys have a particular spot near the front door, and they're always there. And I will always make a point to put in the back. But the things that don't have a place are things like the backpack I use when I go out and go shopping and fill it up or whatever. So sometimes I put it in one of 6 locations, depending on what I was doing. So I used to put them in there to go, where did I put the bag? The bag is here in one of these drawers. I don't know which one, and makes it easier to find.
So we've got an asset here that Andrew showed that's almost gone. There are 14 of them left. I thought there were actually 0 left for a second there when I refreshed.
I was tempted on this one.
I looked at it, and now that I'm seeing
stuff.
there's only 14 left, I think I might grab it because it was a really cool kit. It was another one of those things that made me want to make a damn RPG.
Yeah, this is so I don't use most of what I bought, but when you need UI and you want it to be good looking, it's really nice to have an asset ready to go. I don't think I'll use most of this, but I did buy it. I got it this is the one I got for 90% off actually, when the sale launched, because I think this was a launch day offer. So I got this one for 90% off because I just want the UI. It's sound effects and UI I just want huge libraries of. That's my collector.
Well, my problem is that like I will never use a medieval style UI. The only thing I like about it would be the architecture, the style of how it's done, and the various buttons and stuff. But every time I look at it, I just think, I'll just do it myself. I mean, I have Photoshop, I have Illustrator, I know how to make rectangles. I could just make it if I ever needed it, and I just don't have a use case for this particular style myself. And there's small things that bother me, like those drop downs. It infuriates me from a UX perspective that they have a correctly sized UX for the one here, but the combo drop down elements have not been sized correctly, so you get a really weirdly small one. So little things like that imply to me that the stuff that would bother me about a UI has not been resolved here. So it's stylistically nice, but that's never been a problem for me. It's more about the, I'd want something that I could drop in and use, but there's nothing in there for me. But it looks like it's pretty good. It looks nice. It's just, there's nothing in there that I couldn't do myself if I had enough time to do it.
Yep. Oh, now there's only 12 left. 2 of you bought it.
Yeah. I just grabbed it myself and somebody else did. So it seems like a very good deal. And yeah, it was pretty much what you said of when I want a UI, it's nice and handy to have it. And I do a lot of YouTube videos where I want some UI stuff. And a lot of time I end up going to Open Game Art and just trying to find something that's close. There's a lot of times when I want some fantasy stuff. So I think that
and the scale is right. And to be very polite, Jason, the scale in some of the stuff you do with your UI tends to be very oddly large. And so having something like this is probably a good approach.
Well, I just shared another one in the little chat, Jason. That is another UI Fantasy Icons Mega Pack, also 70% off. This one's definitely a little bit more stylized, but it's one of those just a ton of icons and it's just quick little icons.
Yeah, that's
You are,
another one. Like I
I was
like the
going to
look
say,
of them.
you are
Like
literally pushing Jason to do an RPG, aren't you? It's just
Mhm.
every single thing is down.
Because
on
the more tutorials he does on RPG development, the more I can
you
learn from
sell.
it.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
no.
and that too. Yeah, I'm either both sides. I'm getting out of stuff out of it if he makes it an RPG.
All right, I just grabbed that fantasy pack too. I couldn't resist.
See, those ones look really nice. Like I really like the style of these, and I really appreciate the fact that they have transparency, so you can actually make your own backgrounds and stuff. But again, I just look at it and go, these are really nice, but like, there's nothing I would use them for. And I'm trying to be a bit smarter about that. And if I did need icons, I have access to library pack stuff for icon packs, and I know people. I can figure it out myself.
Yeah,
But they're very nice. Like if I
fairly
was doing it, I
specific.
would use it. Yeah.
Like I think I don't think it was this one. I think I used a different icon pack in the game I'm currently working on, and I was like, okay, well, I just need some quick stuff, and I spent 10 minutes going through and said, okay, this will work for this will work for that. I'm gonna replace them. I know that they're not perfect, but they're good placeholders and they're better than the buttons I had. And I don't have the skills to draw my own for sure, and I don't want to go digging on websites to find something that's I'm also going to replace in the end. So I like the idea of just having it on hand, where I can just grab it. But if you already have another source of a library like that on hand, then that's perfectly good.
So before we go on to some more deals, I wanted to just quickly mention the JetBrains Rider giveaway. So we're going to give away a license for Rider at the end of the show. If you want to enter to win it, just drop your info down. There's a link in the description, so you can just put in your username and then your email, and then I'll email you if you win. The last winner actually already had a license, so I can give it to his best friend. So you can give it out to somebody else there. But hopefully we'll get another winner who's excited to use Rider. It's my favorite code editor. If you use Unity, I think it's one of the. If you can get it for free for a year, you should definitely use it. You should try the trial. I tried it for 30 days and I couldn't switch back. Is pretty much how it happened. People told me over and over, try Rider. I kept saying I'll try it later, and then eventually I did, and I just couldn't switch back afterwards because it felt like it was saving me too much time, just automating and doing a lot of things for me that I wasn't doing on my own. And just when I switched back, I found it to be painful. So if you're interested, you want to win a copy, just enter down below and you'll have the opportunity for it. Also, I'm going to give away a copy of this course right here. So this Art of Writing Video Games. We're going to give away a seat in this. If you're interested in that, just make sure that you join my email list, which is just at game.courses/ I think email will take you there. Just want to just let you sign up, and then I will send you the info tomorrow. I'm going to send out the info on how you can enter to win it. It's just going to be a giveaway on whoever can actually attend the course. If you're interested in it, I'm going to join it because I thought it seemed really cool. It's just a course on video game writing. It looks like they have 35
I admit I'm
seats.
tempted myself. Although
Yeah,
I won't enter that. I do feel like it's always a bit nepotistic to enter competitions that other people are in, so I won't enter this one, but I might pick it up myself at some stage.
Yeah, yeah. It seemed cool, and it's the one thing that I feel really weak with, just writing. So they offered a free one for me to give away, and I said, sure, I'd love to. So if you guys are interested and want to win it, just sign up for the email. I'm going to send that out shortly after. Let me make sure that the entry to win Rider link is here. I'm going to drop that into chat and just make sure that it's on the description, and then we'll go on to the next thing that's on sale. So enter to win. Yeah, the link to win Rider should be down in the description. You should be able to grab that. And then I'll add the email. Email, just a little generic link to sign up. All right, so some interesting things. Is there anything you guys want to jump to next? Like something you've been excited about and holding on to and wanting to share? Is that a no? Because I've got a couple of things.
Well, yeah, because I mean, in my case, the problem with this kind of thing is that when you've been buying assets on the store for so long, you tend to have them all, right? So there's kind of it's very hard to be particularly excited about a lot of them, and the ones that are there. So other than the assets, when it comes to buying hardware and equipment, the problem with being in Ireland, a lot of this stuff doesn't really. There's no discounts and things. So in general, this whole sale period doesn't quite have the same same
You don't
impact
get
for me.
the same big effect on the non-digital stuff. Yeah. No, I totally get that. Well, let's share one of Amir's. Amir from the Game Architecture course shared this one earlier, Curve World, and I have this asset. I assume that you guys probably all have this asset. It's the shader one that lets you take a flat world and make it feel curved.
It is extremely satisfying that there's literally a slider on the shader where you can make the entire world bend down and up with just a slider. It's very cool.
Yeah, this is definitely a neat one, and it's 50% off. If you don't have it, you might not need it, but go check it out at least because it's pretty cool and pretty cool effect, kind of inspiring for some game ideas. It's made me want to make games, but I've never actually come up with something that I would use it for. But I think that it's just a really freaking cool effect. Oh, I don't know why I don't have the video of it playing. It shows a lot better than me just talking about it. So that was one cool asset. There was another one that Amir shared. I want to share too, which was the Steamworks one. Because this one, I feel like you guys might have some thoughts on. It's just a Steamworks integration asset to deal with the Steam plugins or to deal with things like leaderboards. I don't know if it does the multiplayer stuff, but actually, why don't we just take a peek right here? So offline stuff, rewards, track player progress, the leaderboards, inventory. Oh, yeah, that's right. And then, they got multiplayer as well. So have you guys used this? I've done Steam integration myself, but I always did it with like their base libraries. I don't think this existed back then. You guys have any experience with this one?
No, I haven't used it.
I've heard good things, and I bought it a while back, but I haven't had a chance to use it.
Oh, okay. I feel like it's got to be a good. I mean, at $37.50, it's probably more than worth it because I know that I spent weeks doing Steam integration and figuring out how to do stuff, and then writing my own wrappers and layers on top of it. So if you're building a game and actually planning to release that to Steam, it's probably worthwhile. I mean, at that price, it seems like it would be one to jump onto. So I want to hit a couple physical items real quick before we do some more assets. I got somebody right out of the door walking by, distracting me a little bit. And there was one more monitor that I wanted to share. So we had talked earlier about monitors, and I said that I wanted to jump back over to them into something a little bit more affordable. And there was this one Samsung one, the Samsung 32-inch one, and my son actually has this one, and he loves this 32-inch monitor. It's super high res and just it's got the high refresh rate, the 144 hertz refresh rate. So I just wanted to show this as like another alternative, but I was curious if you'd found any deals on that Dell one, Jason.
I have not, but again, deals would be for me in Ireland, right? So it would just it's more. It's the Dell Ultra. I'll give you the exact name. You're good at sleuthing deals, so.
Side note, for anybody who's looking for deals on stuff, if there's a specific thing you want to find, this is my favorite site. It's just slickdeals.net. You just go type in whatever it is you want to find, and you'll see all kinds of deals. A lot of them will be expired because if the deals are really good, they just kind of disappear really quickly. In fact, let me show you one of those right now. There was one that I wanted to share, and I had saved off to share, but it disappeared because it sold out too quickly. But there'll probably be some others like it. And it was on some light strips. So one of the things people ask me about all the time is just the shit in the background. And a lot of the lights back there are Hue lights. I've got Hue light strips and LifeX light strips. And I've got a couple of these just around the house in different areas to light stuff up. But they had these ones off for more than 50% off for these light strips with the extenders. So I would say if you're looking for deals on anything, just hop onto the site and then use the deal alerts down at the bottom. they'll give you a notification right away as soon as something pops up, and it's just constant. You just go to the home page here. This is how I find a lot of deals. Just go to the home page and it will show you all kinds of stuff that's on sale, like a Mandalorian puzzle. If I had a kid big enough to build this at $4, might be a good Christmas present. And I do a lot of Christmas shopping on slick deals. I saw this one too, Ticket to Ride, First Journey. So if you've got little kids and you want to teach them how to play board games, seems like a good one to jump into.
Oh, It Takes Two is on sale. That is a legitimately really fun game. Play with somebody else, and it's a very satisfying. If you ever played that other one where the two guys break out of prison, it's from the same crowd. It's this fun. It feels like playing a Pixar movie with someone else, and you sort of run through these wacky adventures and stuff. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Hey, that site works. There's a ton of board games that are on sale. Settlers of Catan is only $22.
Yeah,
Ooh, that is a good deal.
Yeah,
Settlers ain't cheap normally.
No, it's not. They milk that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, get Catan, get Settlers. There's also a deal. I wanted to share it. Let me see if I can find it now.
I also linked the name of that monitor, by the way, so you're free to see if you can find a deal.
Yeah, I did. I was just trying to find some deals on it. I haven't found anything yet. In fact, I haven't even found it in stock anywhere yet.
But yeah, as people are discussing in the chat, I would say, yeah, that's one comment I would make, is that if you are going to use a TV as a monitor for gaming or for whatever, just be very careful to check out the stats, because you can often get into a scenario where the response time is really low because that doesn't matter in cases of TVs. So I've seen people who've bought these gorgeous TVs because they have great color reproduction or dark blacks, or they really like the look of them, and then gaming feels like slow motion and it's very unsatisfying. Not all TVs are like this. Some TVs do actually have a fast response time mode. There are some great deals, but like, keep in mind, if you're trying to cut corners, because TVs are cheaper than monitors in most cases, you might screw yourself. So just make sure you don't. Make sure you know what you're looking for when you're doing that kind of purchase.
Yeah, without a doubt. I don't even know if I would try a TV. I'd be worried that I would have that exact problem.
There are some of the newer ones that specifically got the refresh for the game for gaming.
Some of them literally have modes. Yeah, some of the new ones literally have like a game mode. You kind of want like sub 2 milliseconds really if you're trying to actually care about your game. You can get. Yeah.
Didn't LG put out a monitor itself, but it was like a TV style monitor recently, and that was a really, really good quality refresh rate, etc.
I don't know. If you find one, let me know. I'm kind of curious to find out. So I pulled up the Target board game deals too, because I don't know if these were the ones that you were talking about, Andrew, but I saw these and got kind of excited because there's some good options here. Ticket to Ride, very popular. If you like games, board games are fun too.
Pandemic
Catan 3D edition. Did you see this one where the pieces are actually raised up? They're not.
No, I've never seen 3D Catan. That's cool.
Yeah, so it's something that they've had on Etsy and stuff for a while, but apparently they made a 3D version of it now, and made it like an actual official thing with the parts kind of sticking up, so you get kind of a little bit more exciting for the kids at the very least. But it seemed kind of neat.
It's very cool.
And then there were a couple other board games on here. Pandemic is a great one. And these Villainous ones, I don't know if you've played those, but I played them with the kids, and they're actually pretty good. It's some interesting game design there, the 4-player games. I played the Disney and the Marvel one.
Talking of games, I just put a link in there for you, Jason.
Oh, okay. Let's check out Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza. What? Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza?
This is my level of board game. If anybody wants to go play this, it's a card game where you actually have to shout out Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza in order. I drink too much.
Oh, that's hilarious. I actually saw this one at my buddy Sean's house 2 days ago.
For a burrito.
For a burrito. Yeah, we haven't actually. I'm not sure what it was yet, but I remember seeing the box there. All right, so what should we jump up to next? Oh, wait, Jason's got one. What is that?
Yeah. If you're talking board games, this is, I think, one of the coolest board games ever. I found it quickly. Yeah, you can see if you can find a link for that. This is called Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, and it's very satisfying. It's effectively the kind of board game where you and a group of friends can play over months if you want to. And the idea is you have a newspaper and there has been a crime, and you have to go, you have a phone book, and you have to try to visit places and talk to people and figure stuff out and read the clues. And what's cool is there's multiple crimes over different sets, and it uses the same newspaper. So different articles may or may not be useful, and you're basically just trying to figure it out. And it's you get points for how basically you have to visit the least amount of places to get the most points. And then when you're done, you can, whenever you're ready, you read Sherlock's version and he'll tell you what happened, and then you check if you got it right effectively. And it's very satisfying. A few friends of mine and I were playing this, and we just have it on over the span of a couple of weeks, and we'd just be like sending each other messages going, what about the dog though? Just like little things, constantly trying to figure it out over the course of a week. It's one of those ones, unfortunately you can't replay it, but like it's the kind of board game where I think there's 4 or 5 different cases. It'll take you a couple of months or so to kind of casually play through it, and then when you're done, it makes a fantastic gift because it's a very tactile game, because you literally have like an actual little book and the newspaper and the various parts, and it's a lot more interesting than a lot of other. It's also single player. You can just play it by yourself if you want to, which is kind of a rarity for these kinds of games. So.
Yeah, that looks pretty neat. All right, I added the card. I'm going to check that out. Seems like a fun one to try. And like I said, it's single player, so that makes it a little bit easier. I don't have to worry about somebody joining me. So there was another asset that I've got marked as 90% off. That's coming up as 90% off, and I wanted to pop it up real quick and see if this is one that you guys have used. I can't remember who popped this one up or where I got this one from. The motion matching one that's popping up 90% off. Was it your eye that was talking about this last time?
Yeah, and I have it on my list to check out, so I'm going to be one of the people trying to nab that 90% when it comes up, because I haven't got it
yet. Nice. Yeah, this looks like a good one. I would definitely have to jump on it. So what does this one do? You want to explain it real quick to everybody who's watching and just kind of curious about it? I'll drop a link there so people can compete with you to grab it.
It's effectively, as you can see, it's kind of like leaning into motion, right? Like it lets it's the way you're blending the animations give it a lot more of a weightier feel to it. It's a lot of these animation stuff. It comes down to how you blend them effectively and what it does. And you'll see like the way the feet turn on this. It's a lot more. The character's leaning in, and it's kind of more physically based looking than if you were to just run an animation. There's a comparison which shows it better than I'm explaining.
Is it one of these? Let's see. Maybe one of these other videos shows it side by side.
But either way, it makes animations look more fluid, I guess, is a summary. They don't have that sort of very instant look you can get. Sometimes if you combine a lot of animations, it can go from like a really fluid animation to like clinically walking, and the transitions and stuff between them, it all looks very like too clean, when in real life a lot of animations kind of lean into things and things sort of overshoot, and you get a lot more of that effectively.
Yeah, I think most animations, even in games that you actually see released, just don't tend to be that great, and they don't tend to be super accurate like this. So it's kind of like a next level, more like AAA quality on the animations. And do you remember how difficult this was to set up? Is this something that you can just
I haven't done it myself, so I'm only going on third-hand information on this one. Choreographer though, that was a recommendation. That's one of my favorite assets. I use that.
Thank you.
I use that asset in a lot of projects.
Let's pull that one up.
And as an extra benefit, they now support Fmod, which is something they didn't do before, which is very, very good for me because I like using both of those.
And what's this one do?
So this one is effectively, think of it like an event system. It'll listen to your audio, and you can either generate if you're using Pro, or you can type them out manually if you're using the normal version, the beats, and it'll let you effectively subscribe to the events and then do things on rhythm. So there are different solutions, but effectively you can analyze a track, generate beats, or tap them out yourself, and then make things that are responsive to audio, which is very, very satisfying. in my case, I prefer to tap it out because you end up with stuff that feel like you can basically have multiple tracks and have, you know, the hi-hats and then have a separate one for vocals and have a separate one for bass or whatever. And then your whole project can have different parts of it react to audio.
Let me see if I can turn the sound up here real quick so people can hear it. Let me know if you guys can hear this. Were you able to hear all that?
Yep.
Yeah, so you can see they're all bouncing along and moving along with that beat. I just want to make sure that everybody watching actually tell what's going on there and it doesn't just look like a character jumping. Yeah, that looks like a neat one. Half off, huh?
Yep. Yeah, I honestly like you can get away with the free one for most people. I don't think because all of the pro features come down to like various different MIDI magic stuff and whatever. But I think for most people, just the free one will do.
All right, so people
Not
try
free,
out
not
the
free
free
one.
one and then jump.
Well,
over
sorry,
to
not free one. The non-professional one. I think that's like half this price. I could be wrong.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. They got a choreographer, got it, and then a choreographer pro. But now that pro is half off, it's yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah. In that case, yeah, you're probably better off going with the
they're
pro.
like, oh, which one do I get? Make it difficult. Okay.
But yeah, it's like I don't know. I've probably showed you stuff before. I would link it, but it's all music that's copyrighted, so I won't. But I've done little projects for like Daft Punk, Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger, and I have little robots that will build things, and they all build to the beat of the music and stuff, and it's very fun.
Nice. So there was a question in chat I thought was kind of interesting too. Is that what's a good gift for a starting game dev? I was curious if you guys have any good ideas. We are at that gift time. Somebody that's like getting into game development. What would you get them? I mean, do they have asset store gift cards yet? Is that
That's what I was gonna say. Is there a way to do that in the SS or is it gift cards?
I've been wanting that for years. Like,
yeah, me too.
Isn't this the great time to plug your own course, Jason?
Yeah, but I think if you're beginning, like it's a little bit pricey for a gift for a beginner.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, like Udemy is the way to go for beginners. I would probably recommend like a Udemy course because they're like $10 or $20 or something. I would probably pick up something like Blackthorn Prod's gaming course thing, or or if you want to go courses specifically, like larger courses, I would probably go something like David Whaley's because that's like using Playmaker, so you don't need to learn programming. If you want to get into games for the first time and come out with a game without having to learn code, David Whaley's course will get you there as a good thing. But if they know programming, I would probably go pick up a couple of ones on Udemy. Wilmer Lynn's courses are great. Again, Blackthorn Prod's nice beginner courses. There's tons of them.
Yeah, I like the free stuff too. There's just a ridiculous amount of good free stuff for learning shit. So I usually just recommend people start there. Start with like YouTube courses and YouTube videos because you can find a bunch of different ones from different people and just jump right in and see kind of what feels good and go through them there. But I think there's got to be some other things that like a new dev needs outside of learning stuff. I mean, you get them like some books and stuff, but I think like what about actual tech stuff? Something that they're going to get excited about. Oh, you went silent, Dave. Maybe is it a microphone? No, it's gone. A keyboard. Oh, yeah. What keyboard would? That is a good point. I think having a good keyboard matters. I was showing you guys earlier that I just recently switched keyboards this morning. But I'm still trying to figure out what it was that I liked about this one because it was one of those Kickstarter projects that I ordered a year ago. Which one are you using?
Yeah, I mean, I use a Code.
The Code one.
By WASD.
Yeah, that one looked interesting. I can't really see. Can you hold it up real quick and I'll full screen you so you can show everybody?
I can't hold it up. It's it's built into everything. Okay. You know me. I've got
fair enough.
If anybody here is old enough to have been using Coding Horror back in the day as a website, that's where this originated. It was kind of a project built around that from the creator of Coding Horror. And I remember following the like production of this. It was very satisfying. I nearly bought one as well, but I just didn't need another keyboard at the time.
Yeah, I was on the market and it's just perfect for me.
So what's special about this keyboard?
It's just, it was made by, as Jason said, there was a whole story around it. It was made by coders and it just really works. I mean, that's the thing you want really from a keyboard. I mean, it's got nice underlighting you can alter to your own specification. I use an 87 layout. I know a lot of people don't, but they have layouts for each type of coder that's there. They have all the switches. They even sell on WASD. They sell you sample switches as well, so you can get a sample pack and work out what sort of switches you like, whether you're on brown, clear, green, or whatever. And then work out the
That's these little switches, right? For everybody
Yeah.
that's not sure what
Yeah.
you're talking about, it's the little switch. I can actually pull them out. This keyboard came with extra switches. These little things that are inside the keyboard, they're out of focus, but yeah. And then you're saying it comes, you can get a sample of all of the different ones?
Yeah, because Code keyboards, that site, well, when you go to buy it, it takes you to WASD keyboards, which is the manufacturer basically. And they have other sets and you can get custom graphics or whatever over it. But I'm a big fan of these type of keyboards.
Pop it off and see, that's where the switches are. So,
Yeah.
and then what's the difference between the switches? You want to just explain that for anybody who doesn't know the difference between all these keyboards? It's not a keyboard nerd like us.
It really comes down to your own preference. There's not a one size fits all sort of thing, and there also isn't a one size fits all across coders in general. I mean, I use Clear because I don't like really loud.
It's Clear are the fancier ones. They're the silent fancy ones.
And I don't like
one
really
right here,
loud
the Cherry
snaps.
MX Clear.
Yeah, I don't really like huge snaps when I'm actually typing. Like, I don't even hear
Okay,
it,
so you want to feel it but not hear it, right?
Exactly, but I want that travel distance and everything when I'm actually tapping, because I want to know that I'm actually clicking through, because it gives you a faster coding rate. You know, you can type a lot faster on these things.
So here to kind of go a little bit more detail for people who aren't really familiar with the idea. A keyboard switch effectively is the cap bit that you're used to, and then at some point it actuates. At some point it registers the click has happened. So when you press a key, some keys actuate near the top. So you only have to press them down like 10% to like trigger it as having pressed. Other ones you have to bottom out and hit right down to the board. And depending on your style of typing and how comfortable you want it, someone like me likes heavy keys where you have to bottom out. So I basically hammer. They call it a hammer typer, where you slam the keyboard and you type very heavily. And so as a result, you want lower bottoming out keys and you want them to be heavier to type on. Other people are very gentle with the keyboard and they're going to want ones which actuate near the top. And oftentimes you want what's called the clickier switch. You want something that's sort of faster and more responsive because the way you type. Similarly, some are better for different contexts. Like there's optical switches, different things. Like if you're gaming, you traditionally want to have mechanical keyboard switches that are very light actuation, so you're very responsive. But for typing, you probably want it to actuate somewhere in the middle so you don't accidentally tip a key and it presses a letter you didn't expect to. So it comes down to your style and your typing. In general, though, most of this stuff, it won't be a deal breaker for you. Most people will be fine. If you're programming, the browns are fine, and so are blues and greens. They're all good. They're all do what you need. It just comes down to, once you start to know more about yourself as a typer, do you find yourself missing keys occasionally, or does it not feel as satisfying to type on? If you get into keyboards, you'll start tweaking this stuff effectively. But otherwise,
it's a rabbit hole as well. You can really start getting down there, and there are DIY keyboards for putting in your own switches, down to the point of soldering them up. Which I haven't got to.
And then having different switches per different keys depending on how likely you are to press them. Like some people use different switches for the WASDs for gaming than they do for every other key on the board and stuff. It's crazy.
I use a different color and a different feel, so different surface finish on my WASDs. But
see, I do that too, but the problem I have is Topra is my favorite style of key. It's a much more heavy. They call it a flock sound or thock sound. It's a chunkier sound, and it doesn't have that like light clickiness of mechanicals. I use a mechanical keypad for gaming, but I use Topra for typing. But the problem with Topra keys is they have a completely different switch shape. They do not have that MX plus nice modular thing, so I cannot buy custom keycap sets for my keyboards. There's like less than 10 that I could ever find, and they all suck. And I can't get those really nice ones with the like clear bases or the frosted looking keys that I want. But yeah, so it's a bummer.
So the next gift to look up is if there's a really good SLA printer, 3D printer. and get yourself an SLA printer and start printing off your own keycaps if you're gonna really get into it.
The next level. So I found the keyboard that I actually got. It is, like I said, it's been so long. I just wanted to pull it up here. It was this Wooting 2 HE1. Because they started talking about the keycaps, I thought, like, yeah, I just had to do that. I had to put every keycap on, and that sucked. That's the whole time I was like, oh man, why do I have to do this? It's taking forever. I'm really, really slow at that fine motor stuff. Apparently, it has adjustable actuation points. I have no idea how that works. I need to actually read up on this thing again. Because again, it was one of those things I got like a Kickstarter.
That's what Jason was just talking about, where your actual thing comes from.
Yeah, because the newer approach with modern keyboards is, so the old way used to be using what was called a membrane, and that's why the old IBM keyboards have a very particular feel. There's an actual like squishy membrane underneath that you're pressing. A lot of modern keyboards now use something like an optical switch, and an optical switch is literally a light beam, right? And so you can choose when, based on the length of that beam, to actuate it. So the kind of fancier keyboards now lets you decide, does it bottom out or does it actuate near the top or whatever.
It's crazy. Keyboards, man, they're way too complicated. I remember back in the day, there used to be one. Like you had the PS2 port. Everybody had the same freaking keyboard.
It was the big IBM beige-looking one. That was the one.
Everything.
Right.
They were
was
so
beige.
good though. They were so satisfying to type on because they had that
so
heavy,
satisfying. Yeah.
This is good stuff. So, you guys want to jump on to another good deal? Is there something else you'd like to share real quick?
The one last one is kind of more for content creators out there. It's probably less valuable for 90% of the audience, but one of the things I linked in that page is the Monogram CC kit, effectively.
Okay, pull that one.
May not be for everybody, but I love these things. I use them all of the time. So this is okay. First to clarify, there are cheaper options than this. This is unnecessarily expensive and over-engineered, and you don't need this one. Just, I would say, if you are the kind of person who does editing, in my case, video editing and stuff, you probably want some physical tools that are better than keyboards. In my case, it's the jog wheels. So I have right here my little set. Now, I have a lot more than this, but these are the ones I use on an actual daily semi-basis. I use this for video editing because I can then scrub through the video at a certain speed, and I can then go back and forth. And then for here, I can change the size of the actual track I'm working on. And then with this one, I have either double speed, and I can change different things. Like if I switch modes, I can use these for color, and I can use this to change the saturation, and then this to change the exposure or whatever for certain things. And it's so much easier to work on a visual medium if you're just there dialing in very carefully the values rather than like clicking with the mouse or dragging sliders or whatever. So something like this, in my case, for editing especially, I use that jog wheel. So I have one hand on the jog wheel and one on the keyboard keys. And I use A and D specifically for ripple delete and insert edit. And then basically I can take a whole set of footage I've recorded and I can scrub with the right hand, like rewinding a video recorder, and I can just tap the keys, A, D, D, A, D, A, D, and I basically doing cuts and deletes automatically, and I can chunk an hour of footage down to like 20 minutes in a very short amount of time compared to if I was manually scrubbing through. But yeah, they are not cheap. They are needlessly expensive. You can find cheaper jog wheels. These ones are very nice and satisfying, but I would say find something like that. If you do a lot of video editing, one, learn your shortcuts, and then two, find some jog wheel type thing. It's a very it really improves your editing process.
So for this, do you need the whole console? Do you need a specific thing to start, or can you just have the jog wheel, or how does it work?
So you need just the one portion, which is they have this like little there's like a brain thing. Actually, I'll just plug the damn thing out here. You need this thing. This is their main central commander unit. And then you'll see that there's connection points on every side. And then what you do is you then choose what kits you want. So you buy the various components you want, and then you take the pins and you line up a set of pins with whatever device it is that you're connecting to, and there you go. And you sort of build up a controller that matches what you want. So,
okay.
So the cheapest one is just get one of these, a bundle with this in it, and then after that, pick the ones you want. Honestly, buttons and stuff are less valuable. Oh, and the other thing too, these are quite nice. Because they also click in. They act as buttons as well, so you can treat these as multi-use. it really depends what you're going for. That's why they have different kits. But honestly, the best part of them is the orbital wheels, but they're also the most expensive. So it's kind of a trade-off.
Okay.
And you can set these up to work in different applications. So you could do the wheels in Unity to do something, and the wheels in Premiere to do something.
Yeah, I haven't played with all this stuff. I just know that they have profiles. Yes, you can have different profiles for different stuff. Like I've used it in like you can use it the wheel can like change your tabs in Chrome or whatever if you wanted to. In my case though, I have the default profiles for things like After Effects, Premiere, Photoshop, and then it like lets you do. They have default profiles for them, but you can make your own as well.
That looks really cool. I might have to get one of those soon. Problem is that I get a clear space. All right,
well, that's why mine isn't plugged in, right? Because same as you, it's just too much space. I need to have it at the side, and I plug it in when I use it because this stuff takes up way too much space.
So Andrew's got a 2D shader editor. This is something new. This looks neat. What is
I
it,
like
Andrew?
this.
Tell me more.
So this is the video. I haven't used it, but the video always blows my mind, and I want to use it. It makes me want to make a card game, essentially. It's a shader for 2D card effects, and apparently it's just, as you can see here, node-based or somewhat visual, and you can add these random things. You need art, of course, so obviously you need art, but the idea that you can relatively easy create card art. You could do this with other shader effects, I would imagine, visual, the built-in ones, the Amplify shader editor, all those. But this one seems dedicated to cards.
Damn it, Andrew. Okay, cool. So I just bought that. Thanks. Another thing.
It looks like they're doing a bunch of different 2D characters in this demo, though.
Yeah, so maybe it's more than just cards.
Maybe they've added a lot.
I guess it doesn't say cards. It just says 2D shader editor. I just always think of cards because of the video. So at the beginning. So yeah,
it looks like their main focus. Yeah, but it looks like they're doing all kinds of all of those little holographic ones. Remind me of playing Nintendo.
Yeah.
This is very cool. So this is a lightning deal too. Okay, I gotta go grab it.
Oh yeah, it's 70% off right now.
All right, so let me grab it while it's on sale. Thanks, Andrew.
You're welcome. I hope you're all using my affiliate link. Jeez.
Can you give it to me? Give me the affiliate.
It's on, if you go to infinitypbr.com and click any of the links into the asset store, I'll give you a link just to
I'm gonna do that
all
right
the
now.
Black Friday stuff.
Before I click through. I see. There it is. That's the
Yeah.
Add that right on.
See, you missed the trick. I bought it through the link you linked to here in this chat, and you didn't put your own affiliate link here. So.
I wasn't thinking about that at the time.
Okay, just add that right on to the end. Bam, refresh, and I'm gonna link that down here in the chat as well, so everybody can go grab it if they're curious.
Yeah, affiliate links. That's the way to go.
I need to make sure that I grab it before everybody else does. So they're still
yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, 2 have sold in the last 2 seconds.
We'll go grab. I had to switch over to another tab real quick. Grab mine. I understand, and I'd like some spam. Pay now, done. Okay. What's the next deal we should hit? You guys have one, or should I jump in with one? I'll jump in with one. So, you know what? I have a couple weird ones that I wanted to share that are here. I'm gonna share a what to get your wife one. So, if you happen to have a wife or like to blend things, I saw this one pop up and I wanted to share it because I actually have this freaking blender and I love it and I paid way more for it. So it was this Ninja blender, and I know this sounds stupid and weird coming on a tech game thing, but it was it's nice. It's like, as far as blenders go, I've had no problems with it. It's relatively cheap. For $100, you can buy a really crappy blender. For this one, like, it's powerful, never gets stuck. I can blend up whatever I want. And those little cups, the cups that it has on the side, you can kind of see in the picture, those are the best part. I just use the little cups, make a drink, put it in there, blend it, hit the pulse button for like 3 seconds, and it's all blended up. So if you're looking for something to give as a gift, like, or you just happen to like blending stuff, which both for me. This one's freaking awesome. So I would check that out. Oh, I do have a comment over Andrew's face. We should probably remove that. Let's pop one over everybody's face. So yeah, that was one I've been wanting to share. I just thought it was neat. It's something that I actually have in the house and really love. So I thought it was definitely worthwhile. So there's a super chat here saying there's a smart lighting 2D asset, selling it cheap. Built the project, care a lot about it. So let's check that out. Smart lighting 2D asset. I'm gonna pull that one up. Have you guys used that one?
I've seen it
No.
plenty of times. The impressive thing is the shadows. That's the thing that always gets me on that one. But I don't do 2D right now, so
Pull it up right now.
That is my problem. I don't do a lot with 2D stuff.
Oh, neat. I just realized what it is. So it's actually like on the cool. The tile map part really got me. Look at okay.
I like the fog of war. That's very cool.
That is, yeah. Normally, I would just expect there just aren't shadows. Look at that. That is cool as shit. All right, we'll add one more. Go add the card in another time. All right, one more thing down. Added and bought. That looks cool. I got a couple ideas for that. I actually been doing a couple of 2D games, so I want to see how this will work in there. Let's go check out. And done. I just got to keep remembering to check out on another tab. All right, what else we got for deals? We've got a little bit of time left. I want to do maybe a couple more and then hit our giveaway, start giving away that rider key. Everybody that wants to win the rider key, by the way, make sure that you sign up down below or go to game.courses/email if you want to win the game.
I should say just one last thing on that asset in particular. So I have zero need for it, but as I'm watching the video, the production of the page, the marketing material, and the advertising on this is so good that I have faith that the code will be good too. So just to highlight as a point, even though I have zero reason to buy this, the only reason I'm buying it is because this is a really well produced advertisement. So I'm going to buy it now. It just shows quality and care.
It definitely does a good job of I think showing off that asset, especially compared to some of the others that we've seen today that don't do anything at all to show off the asset early, and you got to kind of dig. This thing really kind of shows off all of the cool stuff, I think. It's good stuff. All right, so let's jump over to another one. I've got a couple more weird ones and some other non-weird asset things too. Let's jump into one more strange one, and then maybe we'll do an asset if you guys have a good asset. And this one is actually not on sale, but it was just something that somebody has requested, and I said last time that I would at least share what it is in this stream. So I'm going to pop it up and just share exactly what the hell that weird little light is over there. So if you guys can see that little circle light there in the background that I've got that does all of these different modes. And this one's not actually on sale today, but it'll probably pop up. It came with a remote, has a bunch of different modes, bunch of different speeds, colors. You can kind of switch right through. And I thought it was just like a really neat, strange little table lamp that has a bunch of settings on it. And it's kind of an interesting little piece. So if you're interested in that, or if you happen to be the one who asked the question of what the hell is that weird circle thing, the little timer, here's the affiliate link for it. You can go check it out. It'll probably pop up on sale too. And there's also that little light. That actually was on sale, the one on the robot. I don't know if you guys can see that. Have you seen that weird, strange, like sparkly light that's on there? I don't know if you guys can actually tell what's on there. It's this really weird light bulb that I found on Amazon months ago, and it was actually on sale yesterday. Let me see if it's still on there. And maybe we'll pop that one up as well. So there it is. Oh, it's gone too. So this is the downside of Slick Deals. You pop up the deal and it disappears. So there's this little thing right here. And you guys kind of see that. That's what's on that little robot there to make another weird random thing. Half of the stuff that you see in my background is just some weird thing that I combined with some other weird thing to make it look even stranger. But yeah, these things were on sale too. Missed them. All right, so let's jump over to some more deals. What do you guys got?
Well, you've got the Red Ring of Death going on in the background, but
That's right. We're waiting for the Xbox to restart.
Drives me nuts. If Stream Deck goes on sale, I would recommend it. I don't know if we mentioned Stream
I
Deck
like the
yet.
Stream Deck.
Yeah, I think we've all got one. But yeah, it's not on sale at the moment. But if it goes on sale, you can pick one of those up.
Yeah, I said the same thing about two things on that list, which is the Remarkable 2 tablet and the Sony A7 S3. They're both really good products. It's just I don't think they're going to be on sale. Like you said, the S3 was on sale, didn't you, Jason?
Yeah, the Sony A. Different type of new keyboard. It's a little bit weird. A7 S3, I believe, was on sale at let me see, just for Sony A7. It was on sale at Best Buy and a couple other places around here in the US, at least, for a couple hundred. No, that's the S2. Yeah, the S3.
For example, that
with a
S3 is
lens
the one
for-
I'm using right now. That's this camera right here. There's
Yeah,
the
this is-
A7 S3, which is the better one, but I don't have that.
Oh, yeah. Did I not search? Oh, I did. I filtered out on the S3s. They were on sale somewhere. I remember seeing them slightly discounted, but again, they're like super high end things for video production stuff. So probably not going to apply to most people. But if you're interested, there's one other thing that you had listed in there as a tech item that I thought people might be interested in, which was the MV. What is it, the MV1? MV7. The Shure
microphone.
MV7.
Yes.
I've had a lot of people asking about microphones lately. So
It's currently my go-to recommendation for microphones. There are better microphones, there are worse microphones. That one is the best bang for your buck. Does everything you need, scalable for new things, supports XLR if you have it. It's everything you need in a microphone.
You're showing it right there, Dave.
There you go.
So you want to tell everybody what the difference is between that one and this one right here?
About $300.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking accurate.
Yeah. Well, and you get the USB port, right? It's one of the things I wish would have existed when I got this. That just wasn't around. So.
And the XLR. Yeah.
Yeah, because you get both, right? With that one, you've got USB and XLR. Oh, and they
XLR.
are on sale. Oh, look at that. What do you know? They're on sale right now, and you can pick your color. So that is, oh, wow. Okay. I guess if you want cheaper, though, you got to go with silver. Yeah, these you can even, I think, customize the colors. Right? You can go get whatever color combination you want. Go in and just pick them and pick the color of every piece. So.
But yeah, cool. I guess the point is though, is if you are buying a microphone, you want to get into doing streaming related stuff. There are cheaper ones, which is if you don't have a budget for it, that's fine. But if you get something like this, you won't need another one. Like this will do you for a very, very long time. And you can use it on USB when you start. And then once you start getting more into it and you eventually end up buying a audio interface, you can still keep using it because it supports both. So more than any other microphone, I think this is the one that I would say to somebody, if they have the money to spend on something like this, this is the one that will get you where you need to go, and you will be able to keep it for literally like 10 years doing stuff with it.
Yeah, I've used plenty of Yetis before, and this is just beats them all out.
Yeah, that's what Slim's using now too. I think it's a damn good mic, and like I said, I would have bought one of those, but they just didn't exist when I got the this one. And from what I understand, the only thing that this one is better at was like music, actual like super high tones and things that you get from instruments and stuff, not for podcasting.
Well, okay, if we're going to go really into the weeds on it, the reason you would pick the SM7B is the SM7B is it's better at rejection and noise. So something like this will have a much quieter noise floor. Then you'll get some additional noise out of the now by degrades of small amounts that won't bother 90% of people. But if you're really finicky about your audio, you'll have a lot less background noise, something like this. The other trade-off is that this one will also require you to be a lot closer. So you'll get a lot more of a boomier sound out of this, but you need to be within a much closer range to the mic. You'll have a bit more freedom with the M7 than you would with this. And then
you can switch it in software. You can switch close and far on it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, what? That's even better. I don't have that option. I have to just like kiss my microphone if I want to use it on.
Well, what you do have though, have you actually played with the switches on the back of your mic, Jason?
A long time ago, and then I forgot that they were there.
You can add things like low passes and stuff. They are actually at the bottom of the mic. But yeah, either way, they're both good mics. There's no. But if I was to pick one today, I would be agreeing. I would probably get this. This one's the fancier, more famous, professional one. But that one is like good enough for anything I would actually need. So I would probably have gotten the N7 if it was out.
I have a
Alright.
Blue Yeti, and I feel bad now.
Oh,
I still
sorry.
like it. It's okay. It's not the best. It does pick up more noises like background noise. Sometimes people outside, if they're walking too close to the window, you can hear it. So yeah, it's not my favorite, but it's cool. It looks cool.
The Yeti was, I really enjoyed the Yeti when I was just doing streaming and stuff like that. It was perfectly fine. It's when I started doing voiceovers and things for videos and tutorials, I switched to the M7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Plus, the Yeti, for some reason, crapped out on me so many times. It might have just been my particular one that I had.
All right, Andrew, I've got your next bundle up, and I'm opening up my amazing Amazon or whoever. Actually, I'm not sure what these are. Something came, so we're gonna find out what came in the mail while we talk about this package.
Unboxing.
Monster
actually,
Bundle.
while you're doing,
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, no, go ahead.
I was in Monster Bundle 5. It's the Devil, the Demons, Demoness, and Imp. So it's basically that. It's a themed package. Not all of the Monster Bundles are fully themed, but this one is themed. And it's got cool things like the Devil and the Demons, which of the four, those are the two cooler ones in my opinion. But they both have lots of wardrobe and some weapons for the Devil, and lots of blend shapes and music and concept art and other things like that, sound effects. So a lot in this. And again, there's 4 characters. So, I mean, $10 each. It's essentially 80% off per character or more. So it's a lot of money off, and it supports the making of more stuff, because that's what I do with the money, make more stuff. So there you go.
Just a whole army of bad guys. Sorry, opening these things up while I'm watching.
Yeah, I mean the army of bad guys, that's the blend shape. That's why we use the blend shapes, right? Because the reality is there's this the idea that you get a character, and then if you want an army, you're gonna have 40 of the exact same character. And many of us don't want 40 of the exact same characters. You want variety. So the blend shapes allow variety. And you can randomize that at runtime. So just code it so that every time you spawn one, it looks slightly different from the rest. And even these, like the devils and the demons, they both have 3 different heads. The demons here have like 3 different heads, 3 or 4 different horn options that you can mix and match, different body textures that you can mix and match. So, and then the wardrobe that you can turn on and off and mix and match and all that. So there's just so much you can do in the variety aspect. And if you really want to, you can load up the Substance Painter files and create your own textures from scratch so that they look completely different.
Yeah, it's just nuts how much art you get for so fucking cheap. Just like a $41, like just getting this character made, I can imagine be many thousands of dollars having done. Now you got like here's a million random versions of it. It's freaking awesome.
And I really think this is one of those, like, I don't think we banged this drum hard enough, because even I did this. When I moved from Enterprise to GameDev, I had no concept of how much it costs to get a model or something made. And so I challenge all of you. Every time you look at one of these things and you have that gut instinct of, ooh, 40, that's a lot. Try to get try to get a slime made. Just a simple slime character. Go hunting and pay somebody to make that for you. And just see how much money you end up spending to get a blob or a cube or whatever it is you're making. Then come back and then try to say, how much do you think it would cost to pay somebody to make a full rigged character with multiple textures and materials and shapes? And that's before you get into the details of blend shapes and various other additional stuff and animations and everything on top of it. Like, to me, my entire opinion on how much things cost vastly changed when I started getting into game stuff. And it's now comedic to me how, like, I would previously, like, if it cost more than 20, I don't know why 20, that was just a number. Anything over 20 is expensive. Just that's what it was in my head. And it's not until you start actually trying to get things made that you realize, if you start doing the math, a lot of this stuff is dirt cheap. It really is.
Yeah, I can tell you, characters cost a variety of prices, but here's a slime. I'm pretty sure the modeling itself was like, it was fairly cheap. It was a new modeler. It was like $500. But then you also have the rigging, the animation, and all the other stuff that goes along with it, and it adds up pretty fast. The complex characters are thousands for low costs, and yeah. So asset store art is cheap, very cheap compared to making it yourself.
How have I not seen this one? I totally missed this guy. I've seen the cube, but I never noticed the slime.
This was my Dragon Warrior 1 homage.
That is cool.
Oh, wait, there's a question on chairs. So here's my hot take advice on chairs. As you might have established from the conversations we've been having, I do my research into anything I buy to a disgusting degree till I start to learn a lot about it, and chairs were no different. And I learned the different types of chairs, whether you're looking for CAD chairs or task chairs or executive chairs. All the different types of chairs have subcategories and types and different things. And my recommendation is, if you're using it for work, if you're actually working at your computer to do things, you want what's called a task chair. That's the general category of chairs for getting work done. They're the ones you're probably familiar with like mesh backs and various things. These aren't all stylistic, they have purposes. For example, mesh backs breathe better. They're not going to get sort of sweaty and uncomfortable. There's lots of other reasons too. They're also shaped more for lumbar support and back support. Long story short, if you're looking for an office chair, you'd be tempted to get a gaming chair, but gaming chairs are not meant for long-term work. They're meant for chilling out in, and that's fine, but you'll find yourself, you're more likely to have a bad back and have like issues later. So my recommendation as someone with a bad back for making bad decisions earlier is get a task chair, but specifically if you want it cheap, well, not cheap because chairs are expensive, but if you want a good chair that will last you the rest of your life, there's Herman Miller as a category, make the best chairs for office stuff. And I'm using the unnecessarily expensive, fully loaded Aeron, with all of the stuff. Inside I have the even more expensive one. I have the Embody, but this one's better for my back. Long story. I would say, if you're getting a chair, find yourself a company who's going out of business, or find an old office supply chain, or find people who resell chairs, and you will find 5 million of the Aerons for sale. Yeah. Aerons are bought in bulk by large companies and then sold in bulk to resellers. You will find, now they're not cheap. An Aeron fully loaded like this costs about 600. They're not cheap. But if you are buying one secondhand and you buy it from a reseller, you can buy it for 200 to 300. You might have to pay an extra 100 again to get yourself a replacement for the lumbar support, but you will have a chair for life that is better than any other office chair you'll ever get, and it is infinitely customizable. There are cheaper options, but to be polite, don't fuck with your back. If there's something you're going to be sitting there for the rest of your life, sitting at your desk, working every day for hours, whatever money that you spend on an expensive chair will be a lot cheaper than doctor costs. So as far as I'm concerned, one time, spend $300-400 on a chair. It's the same as a game console, and you will have a good chair for your life as you sit there at work. So yeah, that's my advice.
I made a mistake. I bought a bar height chair that was very comfortable. It was only $90, but of all the chairs I tried, it was the most comfortable. And it was for about 8 months. And after 8 months, it got wobbly, it got weird, and my back was, after 20 minutes, my lower back was just aching big time. Luckily, this was COVID time, so the office decided to give everyone $1,000 to spend for their home office. So I put that towards an Aeron bar height chair that cost $1,400. I think I signed up for their small business, so I saved $100 or something right there. But it's the best chair I've ever had, and the reality is, I sit in this chair 8 to 16 hours a day, and there's no problem with it. And I think of all the things, I use it as much as any computer, so it's equally valuable as any computer in a way, because it's going to be used, and so the cost per use is small, and you only get one back.
Yeah, I put the link into the chair that I run with, which is on sale.
Oh,
we'll have to share that one. The Embody.
So here's the thing. I bought that chair.
Oh my god, Jesus!
I have that chair in the other room. If you think that's bad, I bought it, had to import it to Ireland and pay the additional tax costs. That chair cost me $3,000, And the worst part is, like, it's good. It's a really nice chair, but
You got a
for
car
my
with a
back,
seat in it.
I'm not even using it. My back was better for this one, so I went back to the drawing board and spent another 2,000 to go back to the one I previously liked, which was the Aeron. But I got a fully loaded Aeron with all of the trimmings and
I had an Aeron. I had an Aeron in my previous office, and because my back is more, I've got neck problems and stuff like that. This longer back suits me more. But I agree. Again, it's one of those things where it's maybe your body type, it's how you sit, it's everything else.
For me, it's lumbar, lower back, so I needed that specific. The curvature on that one curves around further here, but the one on the Aeron has that back sort of lump that's really good. Yeah, that's really good. And I have the replacement. I don't know if you ever got the. Actually, I probably can't show you. I have the replacement. What do they call it? It's not lumbar plus. There's a replacement version of the lumbar support, so it's not the bar. There's actually like this nice 3-part pressurized lumbar additional bit you can get on top of it for this chair. It's very good.
They're great. I loved the Aerons. Absolutely loved them. And then when I moved to the Embody, for me, I preferred the Embody for my back. But I completely agree. It's what your problem is. Plus, the Embody has that beautiful spine work up the back.
I was going to say, the one thing I do miss is that it's a sexy looking chair. Yeah, rotate that chair around, and it's the coolest looking back of a chair you've ever seen.
It should have a picture of it on there, which is...
and this is the one that Logitech did a thing with, right?
so it has a literal spine.
Ignore the gaming one.
Yeah, but
isn't it the same thing? Just Logitech.
It's the same. Branded? It was rebranded. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Same thing. Put extra money on it, and they put a Logitech tag on it or something. It's like what? Oh.
Yeah, and what's cool about this chair is that spine, it bends with you. So as you rotate around and grab stuff from your desk, the actual chair conforms to your back in a way no other chair does, which is really cool.
And the other thing about the Herman Millers is they're adaptable. Like everything has got a changeable nature to it. From your arm height to the arm going out to the arm going like this to the front of the chair coming out to the lumbar supports. Everything is adaptable, and they're just.
Well, there's one thing I missed, which is something. There's one feature they both have, which the other doesn't, which annoys me. One feature the Embody has is it's got that roller in the front. You can literally extend the seat well base out, which is really cool. Can't do that on the Aeron. But one thing the Aeron can do, which that can't, is you can tilt it forward. So you can have yourself pushed further forward with the tilt down. And that's what when I work, like from here, if I turn this dial on this one, my whole chair leans forward, and now it's pushing into my back, forcing me to have an upright back. And that's what I got this one for. When I'm working, this is like there's more pressure on my back than that one would give you, which is greater for forcing you to sit straight. So literally those differences are the reason that I switched, but it's a good chair. Yeah.
It seems great. The price is a little high for me to try out, but
like I said, the whole point is you're not meant to be shopping chairs. Like you're meant to, you buy one and you have a good chair. Yeah. Ideally, you go to a place, you try the ones out, and you pick the one that's best for you. Unfortunately, though, like I said, in Ireland, every one was a special import. You just can't get them. But I have worked in London, and I've worked in Jersey and in New York, and in those places you can just find these. Like there's hundreds and hundreds of these. Not the Embody, but the Aeron. Just there, you can find one online and buy it and have it delivered to your house in like a few hours. It's there.
I've seen places just giving them away to employees or selling them for $20 just to unload them because they've got tons of them and they're laying people off and they just got to get rid of crap.
Yeah, especially if you're near a big city, go on Craigslist or whatever it is, or whatever you do buy secondhand stuff from. There are tons of Aerons going, absolute tons.
There are a lot of knockoffs. There's other companies that do various styles. In fact, IKEA has their own version. Staples has their own version. There's so many companies that do their own version. But I'll be honest, you'll save half the price. But like, I'd rather just one time buy a good chair. I wouldn't personally take the risk.
Yeah, I think it's just being able to try them out is the hard part. You want to actually be able to sit in it before you drop a crazy amount on them. This is the one that I'm actually using because it had a lumbar support. It was all focused on the big lumbar support thing here that sticks out insanely far. It's a lot better than my old chair, but probably nowhere near as good or comfortable as the ones that you guys have. So I'm still looking for the perfect chair option. I need to find something that is comfortable and supportive, and doesn't fall apart at the same
Well,
time.
that's the thing too. Is like I know it sounds silly to say, but like anything, there's specialization, and you're not going to find the perfect chair because your goals are different. Like something you start to when you look into this stuff, you realize you need 2 chairs. You need one chair, which is your work chair, and one chair, which is your relaxing chair, and they're fundamentally your goals are different when you sit in them. Like one category, if you just type in executive chair, you'll see it's a very different category of desk chair. That's a bit fancier, but it's not. You wouldn't use it for working in. You know, these are the nice ones. So they're fundamentally a different category. So it depends what you're trying to do. Are you sitting there to play games? Or are you sitting there to get work done? Or are you just sort of like lying back and watching movies? You know?
Yeah, I only ever sit here to work. That's the thing. I was at my desk. I got to be more comfortable than that. So
then I would say at least try a task chair just to see if it changes your mind. And as for those DX racers, I had one of those and I hated it. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Oh no,
It
those are super
absolutely horrible.
uncomfortable. My kids have those, and I just find them to be they're too hard and too they're not really what I want. They look neat at first, and then they all fall apart. Like they're all ripped apart. They've gone through them. They just get torn apart. The fake leather stuff comes off. I'm really curious to see how this new Razer one is, though, where they focused on comfort instead of just back support. This one's got really good back support. Like it's kind of insane, and it's super high quality. One of the things I like about it, I've compared this to a couple other ones, but it's just super firm too. I also got the Acer Predator massaging one, and I'm gonna do a video about that because it's.
I remember you were very proud of that one.
I would say I was proud. I thought it was really fucking cool when I saw the ads in the video, and I ordered it. It is sitting in the other room. It hasn't been plugged in months, and the cord is broken on it. It's got It's neat. It's got some cool stuff, but there are a lot of problems with it. So I want to do a video on maybe when the other Razer one shows up, then I'll do a video comparing all three. Talk about which one, and I need to get a Herman Miller one in, so I'm gonna hop on Craigslist.
Just swing by. Just drive over here. You're only down the road. Just drive over here and you can sit in this and do the video here.
Come by and do a compare. That's a good idea. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that soon. Just do a chair comparison, at least for my old achy back, and see what the differences are. Maybe me and Dave can go through and try out all of the chairs and compare them all. It'll be fun.
Oh, I've got a gaming chair at the back there as well. It's on the simulator though. So
yeah, I've got I think when I counted them up, there are 7 or 8 different gaming chairs in my house now because of all the kids, and they've got their chairs, and then they have their old chairs because I made them hold on to them in case I want to do a video with them. I was like, just hold on to those. I might do a video with this giant stack of old gaming chairs. So
the only other one I have is I have a Herman Miller lounger as well in the sitting room. So they're famous. If you bring up Herman Miller lounger, you'll recognize it. It's in the back of everything ever where someone has a fancy office. It's honestly I got it. I got it because it's a prestige item. I had to have it because you spend your life seeing people have these in movies, and I just went, I want that chair at some stage.
They actually have them in the Barcelona Pavilion, which is this architectural design location in Barcelona, and it's just because it's a work of art. It's stunning.
That is wow. Okay, I'm gonna put in your link. Let's go to something more affordable, David. I hope this is
it's not more affordable. This is the laptop bag I use. Super adaptable. Mission Workshop. They have a Black Friday sale, but it's a code you have to enter in. I think you can get it on the front page or anything.
Okay.
But Mission Workshop are the bags that I go to for a lot of my needs. I have certain rucksacks and stuff for tech bags, and I go to Go Ruck for that. But for my nice looking briefcase bags and bags when I go on work trips and all the rest of it, I go to Mission Workshop. Super adaptable. They link together. They just thought of everything to do with your journey and your travel on planes, etc. And
that's interesting. I have never found a bag I like. I have a lot of bags I've tried. I hated all of them.
This is amazing. I've done so much research into bags. I've got a thing about bags. Ask my wife. It's weird. But I bought tons of different bags from Coach and all the different brands. This Mission Workshop has been the best one for messenger bags and for these briefcase bags. And yeah, I won't go back. As I say, the only other bag I use on a regular is GoRuck, and that's it's a military company that sells this bag, but that's because they've got tons of pockets and it's adaptable for when I'm carrying loads of gear to a show or something like that.
Yeah, you're always super organized. I guess now I kind of know
This
why.
is the
Like every
reason,
time I see you show up, it's like Dave's unloading. It's like unzip. Everything's organized and labeled and shit, and he's got a whole store in there. That is cool. I might have to get one of these.
They are the best laptop bags, but make sure your laptop will fit, and they have different sizes. I use a 15 at the moment, 15 or a 14. Not sure what my laptop is, but that fits in this one perfectly. But I wouldn't put a 17 in this.
Okay, yeah, it looks pretty cool. I'll check that out. Although I guess I'll need to leave sometime first. Maybe I should wait until I actually leave my house again. I was thinking about it, I was like, wait a minute. I haven't left my house like in months.
Again, when you come over, you can just get this out and try it out with all
That's
the other kit bags.
You're full of all these good ideas. Like it. All right. Any other deals you guys wanted to share? Andrew, do you have a couple more before we jump into the giveaway and start giving away our rider key?
So Lordenfell is not from me. It's another environment that looks really nice, and I was talking to someone on Discord. Did you have a link? I can try
I'm
to
gonna
grab
pop it up right now. Lordenfell.
Okay. And I was talking to someone on Discord saying, "Oh yeah, it looks really cool. I plan on using it, because I think it works well with my own environment. So why not mix and match from other publishers? If it works, it works." And what I liked about it was that it was all destroyed where my environment was all nice. And somebody pointed out that they actually have a not destroyed version that they just didn't put in the video for some reason. So I need to look into that. I haven't bought it yet, so maybe I'll buy it now when it's on sale and actually look into it, because that's really cool if they have both the destroyed and the non-destroyed version.
Yeah, I never would have even thought that there was a non-destroyed one from the video here.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, this looks pretty cool too. I don't know, I just bought some castles though. I'm gonna add it to my favorites at least. Maybe I'll grab that one too. So I'm gonna give everybody just one more chance to enter for the rider code real quick, and then we'll give it away after maybe the next asset. We'll pull it up. The link is in the description. Just go enter in your YouTube name and your email address, and then we'll pick somebody in just a few minutes. And then should we jump over to one more thing? I know you had a couple more assets in there. Let's share one of yours, Andrew.
Okay, I guess if you pull up infinitypbr.com instead, I list out all of what's on sale for me. At the top, we got 3 things that are 50% off. Then we got the lightning deals. There's 4 more lightning deals coming from my stuff, which is great. The top 4 are all live. The bottom 4 are upcoming as early as 4 days from now. And then if you scroll down just to the next section, on the 25th, which is at night, so basically Black Friday, those 4 assets are going on sale too. And I would point out the game modules bundle and the sounds library. That's actually the first version of the sounds library. There's an update that includes magic, but there's an upgrade price that's cheap, so it's better to get the deal. But those are gonna be 50% off as well. And I'm hard at work in updating the game modules bundle and getting a new version out that changes a lot before this goes on sale. That's what I've been doing for the past week and a half. Just heads down on that. So that is all of the Infinity PBR stuff in the Black Friday sale, and those are all my affiliate links too, of course. So if anyone's going to buy anything from the asset store and you want to support Infinity PBR without actually buying my stuff, click on my link and then buy what you're going to buy anyways, and I get 5%, and that helps out a lot.
Nice. Yeah, there's some cool stuff coming up too. The weapons packs are really cool too. Those just kind of like go on to a lot of your different characters, right?
You can use them in anything. They don't have to be mine. They're just weapons. Just put them in someone's hand and you're all set. The thing is though, that the weapons and these elf character, the goblin, the half orc, they're all part of the character complete bundle, which is 50% off. So if you can get them all for 90%, I guess it's a better deal, probably. But the thing about the character complete bundle, which is 175, 50% off right now, so that's the price at 50% off. That includes it's the left one there. It includes the humans, the elves, the half orcs, the goblins, the dragons, the weapons 1, weapons 2, the armor pack 1, armor pack 2. We're working on a villager outfit pack. It's going to be included in there. The horse Pegasus unicorn is in there. The character accessories is in there. There might be more that I've just forgotten about that. But basically, this is the get this pack if you're going to make an RPG one. And I think if you get things a la carte, over time you might get them for cheaper, especially with the 90% off deal. But this is the one that's going to be added to over time, technically. So, long term it's probably a better deal unless you're fine with just snagging everything individually one at a time. But yeah.
No, it seems. Yeah, that's just insane. Like this is like I think about what I paid for the dragon a long time ago.
Yeah, the dragon by itself is $75, and the humans
Yeah.
are $75, and the others are all at least $50 each, or $40 for the armor packs and stuff. So,
Yeah, it's just amazing.
and always please write a review. A nice positive 5-star review goes a long way for asset publishers in general.
Yeah,
You'd be
that's a
surprised
good point.
how few reviews we get. I've, with all this sales stuff going on, there's a lot of sales happening. I know people haven't had a chance to use them all, but no reviews, not a single one. And it's I check every day to see if there's any reviews, make sure there's no 1-star reviews that I need to address, but there's no 5-star reviews, and it makes me sad.
That is definitely sad. Yeah, I think reviewing the assets is important. I try to remember to do that whenever I get them, especially if I get them from someone that I know or if I really like the asset. But it is one of those things that I just don't really think about. Every now and then I get a notification like, "Hey, do you want to review these 12 assets?" And I forget about it. But it's something, I should do that more often. I'm going to go in and maybe spend a little bit of time reviewing assets this week, at least the ones that I like and use quite often.
Yeah.
So I want to jump over to our giveaway now and just start screen sharing my writer instance. So we'll give away a writer code that's good for 1 year of using Writer for free, Writer's Pro version. I've got all of the old names. So I wanted to build up an app for this, but I haven't had time for it yet. So I'm just going to reuse what we had last time, where we have a giant list of names, and then we just choose one at random in debug mode. So kind of step through in Writer. Let's go to the end of this list and delete that out. We have a giant string that's got all of the names, including what's your YouTube name as the first one. So we'll delete that. And then we had some code in here that just deduplicates. So if we have any duplicate entries, we should remove them. And we got some spaces here. Now, I had said I was going to make a serialized field or something else if we were to reuse this, but I lied. So we're gonna use my my code in debugging instead, and we'll just add in a breakpoint here into our code. Save, attach with F5. And these are the test names. Let's run it once with the test names first. Actually, let's detach.
Just one thing, just to be because just don't forget that random.range is exclusive upper bounds. It's fine in this case, but just as a fun note, if people were and it's not relevant in this case, you're actually fine. But I just think it's funny to note for people because I brought it up. Whenever you do 0 to X, it'll never be X, because it's exclusive to the top bounds. In this case, it's actually fine because the list count is larger than the number of elements with the 0 index. But for anybody, just remember that top entry will never actually be hit. But yeah,
right,
again,
the number, that value, if that's 5 entries, we'll get 0 to 4 instead. But because we're 0 indexed, it'll be fine. So here we are. I'm going to hit the button, and we should hit our breakpoint. This is, oh wait, I didn't stop playing because I need to change it to test names before we run any further. I don't want to accidentally award somebody and then rob them. Hey, what happened to my? What did I do here?
You don't have any nice spinner with a do-tween little thing for animate it? No spinning dial.
It should be in Unity and have parkour effects. What's going on?
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's stop playing. I'm going to hit the button again. And then we'll get a test winner real quick, just see how the code works, and then we'll pick a real winner. Just make sure that everything's working the same as last week. So we've got our names. We end up with 5 names, including an empty one at the beginning that we'll just ignore. It's got Me, Salim, David, you're not in here. Oh, neither is Jason.
Neither is Jason. So nobody's going to win.
So go through. We got 5 entries. There's really 4, but again, we're just ignoring the bug because if we get 0, we got 0. So nobody won. The winner is nobody. Let's run it again. Watch this. I can drag the yellow arrow up and make it run again. Good example. Without having to hit anything, just drag it up and move the execution up. Same code. I could have just dragged it up to pick a new winner index. There we go. I got a 0 again. Let's try that again. I'll just drag it up to the winner index. There we go. We got number 4. And number 4 is Andrew. So Andrew, you did not win.
The only one that's actually here.
You're the tester. So now we'll try it with all of the YouTube names. So we're going to reattach. I just switched it from the test names here to everybody who submitted an entry already. And then I'll jump back over to Unity. I'll hit the button and then we'll try it. Pick a winner. And then I'm not sure what we're doing after that. First, let's pick the winner and then we'll go from there. So you hit the button to pick. Oh, stop playing. Got to attach my debugger. Add in a breakpoint. And then
next time I'm going to put an application for this, Jason. Seriously.
You're gonna make one?
I'll just make one. With parkour
to make something where they're just like in the editor, kind of like Vimlarks and stuff. How he's got the little dudes running around, the monkeys. That'd be kind of cool to do something like that for the giveaway and have it actually show up on screen. You'd have to come up with like a neat concept and
that's a Twitch thing that he's got running. Yeah.
Yeah,
you can do a transparent backgrounded Unity project and just full screen it over your stream and do stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You could do something like that and just pop it in and be kind of neat and be kind of fun.
Sure. I mean, I just added AI to the monkeys, so we could just chuck a list of names in. We could put the name above all the monkeys and have them fight off.
Yeah, and just the winner, the last monkey standing wins. Just have 2 monkeys battle, and you pick a random winner between each monkey each time, and you get down to the last monkey.
Yeah, sure, we could do that.
That would be a lot of fun. All right, let's pick the winner of the hacky debuggy way for now. So we got our names. We've got all names, the giant list. Now we have an array of 141 entries, and then we've got 138 distinct ones. We've got the winner is number 63, who is Waste of Ash. All right, it's Ash spelled like League of Legends. So we'll find that person, and hopefully they're in chat. Are you in chat? If you're in chat, say hello. Otherwise, I'll just shoot you an email and send it over. I don't want to force everybody. I didn't tell them they would have to be here for the thing to win, so I don't want to force that. But I'll send it over to you.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, hey, congrats. There you go. We got the winner in here. Woo! So I'll be emailing you the info for the writer code, and then you'll be able to just jump in and redeem it for a year. It's definitely worthwhile. It's my favorite editor, and Jason's as well, I guess. Hopefully Dave will convert one day. So
it's mine too. Technically,
well, again,
I've only used the mono in this, but I like this better than that. So there you go.
And I was a hard and fast Visual Studio user, and then I used Writer or ReSharper for a bit, and again, took me a long time. Jason here was telling me to use it for like 5 months before I finally caved, but yeah. So
Kyle told me for a year, right? Yeah. And I was like, I'll do it eventually. I'll try eventually. I'll try it. And I did. I was like, we should have done this a year ago.
There's always something slightly more important, and it's really hard to change over.
All right, so let's see. You got a couple more?
I have another link to a product, and one last one that came to mind because we were talking about organization. This is one that I just think is a really cool product. I have a couple of them in the back there. I have lots of small gadgets, just stupid little things like GoPro and a lockpicking set and other like little small things. And sometimes they get lost. And so what this does is it's just a big plane, just a grid with a bunch of elastic things in it. And you can just jam a whole load of crap in it and turn it upside down and shake it and it still stays there. And so if you've got lots of small randomly shaped gadgets, one of these things is really satisfying because you can drop it in a drawer and they're not sliding around randomly. So
I have 3 of them. They're awesome.
I told you Dave's organized.
I am OCD when it comes to organization. I love these things. Gridits are amazing.
Yeah.
Hey Dave, you want to come over sometime?
No, I'm not coming to clean your house or something.
I was trying to hire my teenager to organize this tech closet that I've got with all my stuff. But I started doing it, I just can't get it done. Yeah, Dave. Hey, you want to come? Let's have a party.
We're gonna need to trade notes at some stage, Dave. I'm gonna need to see what your organization stuff is, compare it against the stuff I'm using, and pick the best of both.
We need to have like an organizer party. You can sell organizers and organize things at the same time.
I mean, I have a charging wall that's built out of server rack stuff that is all nice and neat. That has 3D printed like parts so that they're molded around the headsets and the watches and all the rest. I'm crazy when it comes to that sort of thing.
I have drawers that are labeled. They just aren't labeled with the things that are actually in them.
No,
they're labeled with what was in them the first time.
That hurts my feelings.
Yes. I say my organization, it's a lot like my background. Just like find cool things, and if they kind of match, they're in near the same place. And that's about it. Tools are in a general area. Things are in, yeah. All right. Well, you guys got any other? Go ahead.
Here's my organization thing. Buy a 3D printer, get yourself a caliper. Now, a caliper is a measuring device, a really accurate measuring device, and start going around picking up all your various items and then measuring them out, building them in 3D, and then printing out supports and shelves and stuff like that for them. And be crazy.
My problem, the reason I haven't gone that road myself is depending on the 3D printer you're using and the cost of it, quite frankly, the texture of crap that comes out of a 3D printer has that really cheap, grainy, crappy version. Oh. And in order to fix that, you're going to have to spend forever sanding and organizing and doing stuff. And I'll be honest, I don't have the patience to make stuff feel like good products when I'm done.
Prusa. Buy yourself a really good Prusa, put it at a really fine resolution, and you'll get a really nice finish on it. But if you, if you want to go really heavy, SLA, you'll get an even smoother finish on it. But with an FDM, a standard 3D printer like the Prusa ones, and I've got two of them. I've got a giant one that does 0.5 meter by 0.5 meter by 0.5 meter that I print out things like the arms on my arms on my motion simulator are all printed in that. But then I have the Prusa for the really small, accurate stuff that doesn't have any texture. But yeah, if you get it fine texture, got to get in there with sanding, and then you do some spray painting. And I have a spray booth out in my workshop out there, and I use the stuff they use to fix cars where you get scratches and things. I have that spray, and I put that on it, and that does an undercoat and fills in all the little bristles. And then you put a really fine, like 200 grit sandpaper, well, less than 200, higher than 200 grit sandpaper, and go over it, and you get perfect finish. It's beautiful.
Well, it's funny because I have my friend of mine, Nick. He actually made me a character up there, the one of the guys, and he's recently gotten into 3D printing. He currently made this, which is extremely impressive. It's his current project he's working on.
Pull it up right now.
I admit, watching him work on this has kind of inspired me to maybe get one myself.
This Fire Panda?
Mm-hmm. So he basically modeled and 3D printed this ridiculous castle from Howl's Moving Castle.
Oh, wow. That is nuts. Artists always impress the shit out of me, man. Every time I see stuff that artists do, I'm blown away.
This is also why, to be honest, I don't usually buy as much art assets on the asset store. Because I can just keep annoying this guy till he makes me stuff.
And I like how you said you don't buy that much art assets. I guess relative, right? That one's cool. So, Dave, there was a question about your laptop bag in chat, too. They were curious about what the company was.
Mission Workshop.
Workshop.
That site you brought up, Mission Workshop.
Yeah, just make sure everybody can go check that out. And then...
and for the backpack, if they're wondering about the backpack, it's a company called Go Ruck.
Go Ruck.
That's a different company.
This one right here, right?
Yeah, so the GR2, I believe it is, but without the camo, because I'm not that sort of person.
You're not going to go out in the woods? You don't need to hide from the deer?
No.
Plus, you'll never be able to find your bag.
Exactly. Well, I'm never in the woods. My wife makes me hike, but I don't.
You have a hard time out in LA.
Yeah, well, LA's surrounded by hiking trails, Jason. It's just you never went on them.
It's in the woods.
But yeah, GoRuck. I mean, they're styled for military, but if you're carrying a lot of kit, for instance, if you love the gridded stuff, this uses a molly design, which basically is interwoven design that you can attach like pockets and stuff like that inside. And yeah, they're awesome. But
I'm legitimately going to be giving those a look later and see if I can find something that I like.
They're really, and it's good quality. The other, like with the chairs, the bags disintegrate in no time at all. Like really cheap ones, the straps will break, the threading will be rubbish, and all the rest. GoRuck build them for military use, so they can withstand anything. And Mission Workshop, again, they're really, really well done. So you'll pay a little bit more, but the quality will last you forever.
There's a YouTube channel called The Outdoor Gear Review, and I absolutely love that. Like, I don't even buy much gear like that, but he's so brutally honest and will like rip bags to shreds to prove whether they do what they say. He was reviewing tents at one stage and was like lividly angry at multiple different tent manufacturers for being incorrect in their assessments of the stats and things. And I always love that when, like, even for products I don't buy regularly, if I find a reviewer that looks like they care deeply about the products they're reviewing, you know they're going to have good advice, and that they're going to have advice coming from experience you don't have. So yeah, that outdoor gear review guy, he looks at backpacks and bags all of the time, and so I always check, make sure he's reviewed it to see what he says.
Yeah,
it's a good idea. I use YouTube reviews for just about everything I buy now. Like before I buy it, I go look at 3, 4, 5 different YouTube reviews, try to find some people who actually test different things in that same category and are comparing it and give me like an honest comparison. And I find most of the reviews that I find, if I just look on Google, the written ones, it's just ad clickbait. Like they're set up as ads. They're designed for maximum SEO so that they show up at the top, and they're not really giving me much information. Just they're giving me ad links, like they're giving me affiliate links. But with YouTube videos, it's pretty easy to tell just by the views and the ratings and stuff in the channels whether or not it's like a legitimate review of the thing versus just a let's get to the top of Google for this product type thing, you know. But I feel like it helps a lot. Anyway, I wanted to, I don't know, do you guys have any last second Black Friday things? I got one last one I wanted to just end with, if you guys got nothing else.
Nope.
Okay, so
not really.
Oh, go ahead. You got one?
No, I don't. No, I'm just thinking. I can't think of anything.
Come
Andrew,
next week, though.
You got one more?
Real Black Friday starts next week in Cyber Monday, so next week's episode is going to have to be a repeat.
A recap of the best things. Well, you know, I think on the next week one, we'll get anything that we've missed, anything that really stands out, and just make sure that we highlight those if there's something really cool. And if somebody shares it. But yeah, there will probably be some things, and I'll probably send out some emails throughout the week too. People that are interested.
All I'm doing is I'm thinking about products that I like and trying to think, just checking their websites if they have sales. Like, for example, I was just thinking, I don't know if they have a sale on, but if you're looking for a thermos or any drinking container, Contigo just do the best ones. They are the best. Like, I've done tons of research into these, and if you want something that'll keep your drinks a decent temperature, they won't spill because they have an anti-seal thing at the top. You can lock them so they're not going to accidentally open in your bag. There's they have tons of great products. If I'm ever doing some kind of thermos, Contigo are the company to go with. So I don't know if these companies have sales. They're just good companies.
Swell. The one I use.
Yeah, they do really nice water bottles. I actually have 2 of those myself. I have this marble looking one. It looks great. They have like a marble design.
My wife has
they're not cheap.
They're not cheap.
They're not cheap. No. And the only problem is the some people don't like drinking on a metal container. I admit it took a bit of time to get used to with the metal spout, but it does keep it so much colder than literally anything else.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, agree. You do have to use it. I have Contigo as well for my thermoses. But yeah, for the water, I use as well.
Cool. So, real quick, I'm going to wrap this up. Have you guys seen this yet? I don't know if I showed you guys.
No, you're going to have to boost up your picture.
Notepad?
Yeah, my new notepad. So, here's a part of my Black Friday deal that I did. I got Black Friday bundle up right now. Let me pop it up on here. And this was what my wife was bringing in earlier when I was opening in the box I wasn't sure of. It was the notebook that comes with it. So you can scroll through here. You can see the little GameDev notebook where it's all in binary. So it's actually, if you can translate the binary there, it actually says GameDev there, like in ASCII. You just got to actually be able to do the conversion. So it was a notebook and a hoodie. I thought that it was going to be the hoodie too, but it was actually my CoffeeZilla hoodie, which is just another YouTube channel I love to watch. So yeah, I just figured I would share it and mention it. We're talking about Black Friday as well. Just mentioned I got my courses on the Black Friday deal with the notebook and hoodie and all of the courses and a bunch of other stuff. If you're interested, just go check it out. Game.courses/Black Friday down below. And then that was all I had. I just got excited because the notebook's here. I really want to unwrap it and open it, but I feel like I should record myself unwrapping and opening it because I'm weird. And maybe next week I'll give this one away. That'd be fun. Because I got to get a couple more of them. Do my test ones first to make sure that they're good. All right. Well, anybody got anything else you wanted to share before we wrap things up?
The only thing I wanted to say is just it means very little to everyone else, but it's particularly exciting for me. Is since our last stream, my internet has become 30 times more bandwidth. So I have a lot more internet than I used to have, and the upshot of that for everyone else is I might finally be able to share my screen live when doing things. If you remember the last time we tried, it came out as like 8 pixels. So I'm still doing video content. Don't worry. There's multiple cuts of partial videos in my Premiere folder. I just have to get around to finishing some of them. But now I can actually do live streams as well. So I expect at some stage in the future there'll be some video on my channel for that. So keep an eye out. If you're not subscribed, it's just youtube.com/JasonStory. My name's right there, and you can see whatever I come up with next.
Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't even notice it at the beginning of the stream. I remember you mentioned it. I was like just blown away, the quality. Anybody who goes back and looks, you're going to see Jason in full detail now. It's pretty awesome. I'm excited to see you.
I apologize in advance.
Yeah, for better or worse.
I'm going to put a blur filter on now.
Beautify filter.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
he's already too beautiful. He's got the glasses. He's got the beard. He's got the look.
What I have is
Instagram model.
I can go more serious, right? This is my like normal look, but then I can go for like the more the filmic look. You know, I've got a whole bunch of the stylistic stuff on here. You can do different color gradings of different styles. So I
get some
I've
bunny ears and whiskers and like a little nose over there. I'm waiting. He's just going to pop it on real quick. Like, of course
get him in a full Rococo suit and have him motion capture it all.
If I ever wear bunny ears on a stream like this, it'll be in person. I will buy actual bunny ears. I will not use a digital one. But no, that's probably not going to happen.
3D printing you some bunny ears right now.
Send them over and get a delivery. So there was one question in chat real quick. Tech Dave asked, and I want to just really briefly answer it about the other giveaway that I mentioned. And they'd be giving away an entrance to this course, one of the seats. They gave me one to just raffle off. So I'm going to do that in the next 2 days. Just go to game.courses/email, sign up, and I'll send the invite link to just go enter. There's a little bit of info about it, so I just want to make sure that everybody who enters and whoever wins it is actually going to be able to use it. So I'm going to put all of that on the entry thing, and then you can go enter, and we'll just pick somebody at random who's able to attend. So if you're interested in that, just go sign up, and I'll send out the email probably tomorrow with the full details on it, just so you can go sign up. I'm going to talk to them tomorrow and then give as much info as I can about it. Make sure whoever wins is actually really into it and gets to take full advantage of it. Cool. Well, I've got nothing else. I don't know if you guys do. I'm excited to see what Jason live streams now.
I've done my first tutorial on YouTube, and I said I would never do them, and I ended up doing one, and I regret it immediately. But it's I don't do them. I just usually show stuff that I'm designing or building with virtual reality or simulators or motion simulators. But I actually gave a little talk to some indie devs the other day about how to get code done quicker by using code templates and code snippets. and the Control-Shift-M key in Visual Studio. So yeah, I literally just done a tutorial on how to code in Unity faster on my channel, which is youtube.com/warped imagination. So there you go. And I'll probably do another one at some point, but who knows when.
Well, that's awesome. I didn't think you were going to do some. So really quickly, I'm going to share the link for it real quick, but I just want to know, what was it that made you regret doing it? You said you regretted it.
I don't teach. I'm not a teacher. I've been invited to teach. I do the odd, every year I do 2 talks, and I limit myself to 2 talks. I'll go and talk at a university. I'll go and talk at a show, and that's it. I do, and it's usually about design, inventing, patenting, that sort of thing. But I said to myself, I was going to build a YouTube channel. I would just do it on design and methodology and why I build simulators and what I do with them and all the rest, and turrets in VR and all that sort of thing. And then I would just link to Jason Weimann on how to do tutorials on how to learn to do Unity, and now Jason's story. But I did this one talk for a few indie devs, and I was like, okay, I'll switch it up, and I'll just put this out as a video. So there you go.
Yeah, we're not all as comfortable doing tutorial content as you are, Jason. The rest of us feel uncomfortable doing it, and we hate looking at it afterwards.
Oh, I do too.
I hate the sound of my own voice.
I was the same for years. I couldn't even watch my own videos. I didn't edit them because I couldn't watch them because it just bothered me. And even now, I still kind of struggle with it. It was not an easy thing. It took many, many years to feel okay with. And really, I just got to the point where I realized it just didn't matter, because even if it was bad, nobody cares enough. I'm just not that important. Nobody cares if I do a bad job of something, a bad video.
I recently won a VR game jam, and I put a video up about the game itself and what I'd done and all the rest. And I was like, and a few of the guys that were on that community asked me to do a longer video on how I made hand blending and all the rest. So I said, sure, I'll do it. So I sat down and I recorded myself actually doing hand blending and bringing the stuff into Maya and breaking out the rigs, and then I put it up, and it was an hour long. And I had to listen to myself back for an hour, and all I wanted to do was shoot myself in the head. I was just like, this gruff voice that you hear from too much abuse at a young age is not what you want to listen to for an hour. Some people seem to like it, but I don't. The wife likes it.
Yeah, I had the same problem. I did a video last week where I spent about 4 hours recording and cutting me describing making a class library project, using MS Build to automate the process of sending that to Unity. I set up unit testing and all the different stuff, and I was listening back, editing it, going, it's slow, it's horrible, I hate, I'm bored listening to it, and it's just, I ended up getting halfway through the edit and just thinking, I can't look at this anymore, I need to go watch Netflix or something and take a break. So that's another video in a half done state, because I just hate going through it.
Can I give you guys a tip on what I do to get around that? The only way that I can edit my own videos and be okay with it is if I do it while I'm recording. Not the full editing, but most of it. So I will record, and the second I don't like it, I stop, edit, go back, and I'll do all of the cuts. So I won't do the zooms and all the cool fun features and stuff, but I'll do the cuts and reshoots live and listen to them and kind of try to make them flow. And I found that it made it a lot easier, because if I do a whole recording all the way through for an hour and I screw up 10 minutes in, it's really hard to go back and fix that. The editing to fix that part is really difficult. But if I stop and just kind of rewind myself a second and redo the last 30 seconds and then that part, I can usually fix it and then go back and do the actual real the pretty visual editing and all the other stuff afterwards. But getting all the cuts out early, it saved me a lot, and it's something that took me a while to get used to. But if your workflow works with it, it helps a lot for me.
I do that, but it's the case of having to listen back at the end once you've done everything and you've recorded it, it's in Premiere and you've exported it, or you still have to listen to it. And that video is an hour and a quarter long.
Oh, I just don't do that.
And I just sitting there with it in the background. In fact, I listened to it in the background once and went, yeah, it seems about all right. And then I basically chucked it out and went, somebody will complain if it's not, and then I'll change it.
Yeah,
but
that's it.
Well, my problem is
doing the shorter ones now.
I watch too much content. Like I don't think people realize this. The reason I watch videos at 3x speed, and that's not sarcasm. I have a button that takes any video I watch, whether it's Netflix or YouTube or whatever, I can default it to 3 times its normal speed, and I've just gotten used to that. It's just one of those. I didn't start that way. It took years to get to that point. I consume a lot of content. I watch tons and tons of hours of YouTube tutorials and guides and whatever. And if I like stuff, I put it in a to watch again later list where I'll watch it at only 2x and I'll kind of go through it and follow it. My point is, it's made me hyper critical, and I have very little patience for videos that waste my time because of how much I'm watching. So when I watch my own videos, I'm very acutely aware of all of the ums and ahs, and the word "so" apparently is my favorite word. I now realize I didn't know that at the time.
Yep.
And could you cut through all of that stuff? I realized that for my own standards, I wouldn't want to put something out that I wouldn't be happy with, and that makes it very hard from that perspective. Going back and trying to cut out the unnecessary hour-long video that could really be 20 minutes of actual content. You know?
I took Jason Weimann's advice on this, and he just said to me once ages ago, just put it out and forget about it.
Yes. That's the hardest part. And I still struggle with that myself. Like, just like do it and then remember that like in a year, that's going to be a thing that you didn't even fucking remember you did. Right? Like it doesn't matter. Like just get it done and move on. And like, I literally keep the sign on my desk just to remind me like the progress, not perfection one for everybody who can't see it.
I saw that earlier.
Keep doing stuff. Just push it out. It'll get better over time. It will get like every video that you do, especially with YouTube videos or games or code or anything, you keep doing it. It's going to improve either way. If you stop doing it and put yourself on hold because it's not good enough, you're not making any progress. You're not going to improve. You're literally just going backwards. You're either stopped or just going backwards. So just put it out there, release it, and worst case, somebody downvotes it and says something mean. But even then, like, we're lucky enough to be in like a giant nerd community where that's rare, right? Like even if your code was bad, people are probably not going to tell you it's bad. They'll be like, hey, here's a small improvement you could make. It's not like you're in the fitness or beauty industry or some other thing where people are going to just attack you constantly. Like, yeah. So I'd say just put it out there.
See, my logical brain agrees with you, but everything else disagrees.
I was in that camp.
All right, guys. So I guess we'll wrap it up. We're at the 3 hours, and I got people outside the house again. So we're going to start to close things off. I wanted to just remind everybody to go check out Jason's Ko-fi page. I think that should be linked down below in infinitypbr.com to go grab all of the asset store deals. And even, like I said, even if you don't grab one of Andrew's, click through and maybe you'll grab something else and help out Andrew's channel and everything else. It'll be good stuff. And check out Dave's new video. I'm going to go watch it later on today. I've got it queued up.
I'm just going to watch it after we're done here. So.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it later on tonight once I get into bed. And then if you want the notebook or the other cool freebies, go to game.courses/BlackFriday or just game.courses. You'll see the link on there. All right. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you again next week. Bye. I feel like Andrew's cocktail lounge, like he needs like a goodbye sign. Just pops up.
I do. I need a sign like this that's customizable.
I agree. You know what? One of the things I wanted to share, but it didn't get around to, was the Frame TV. They're on sale, and when you get the sales, what you got to watch for is the little bezels that come with a replaceable, like the customizable bezel that changes the color and make them look like a picture frame. That's what that one is. So it looks like it's supposed to look like a picture frame, but it also works as a TV. Be perfect right there. Fit right into that spot, and they're on sale. So go check those out too. All right, guys.